Hello, race fans. Welcome to the Intimidator 500 International Division. Excited to have you all here today for the best 31 drivers majors could put together for this. We'll be getting started very shortly here once the pre-race meetings are over. My name's Trevor, and we got Mike on production color here with us today. Excited to get this going for y'all. Mike, if you want to introduce yourself real quick.
Yeah, what is up, everybody? I am Mike Taylor, your producer for tonight's race. I hope you guys enjoy everything that you guys see here tonight. We have a lot of good racing I anticipate that's going to be happening here at Daytona for the Intimidator 500. And let me tell you what, Trevor, I think we are in for an absolute blast as these drivers get ready for a good old 500 miles.
Yeah, and it's always fun watching this race every year, and being the first time in the booth on this one. Every single year, the Intimidator 500 is a great way to intro us to a long season on the international majors here. Usually, it's first race in the oval circuit and real life NASCAR, and you know, a lot of us feel like Daytona at the beginning of the year every year between the Rolex and this is just a really good way to you know, start the season every year.
Yeah, definitely. The reason why we do call this the Intimidator is, of course, it's for the one, the only Dale Earnhardt. The Intimidator, you know, lost his life here back in 2001, but you know, thanks to him, because of all the new safety stuff that we have these days, it's a big part to Dale. And when you think of Daytona, you think of the Intimidator. And let me tell you what, when you see that black car coming up behind you in your rearview mirror, you got two options: get out of the way, or he's going to move you out of the way. Your choice.
Absolutely. We've all seen it here before. And, you know, there's nothing like a heated iRacer as well, to recreate that in the virtual world here. Well, it looks like today, you know, we did pre-qualifying. We're all in a warm-up session right now for the next few minutes or a few seconds here, even. But you know, excited to see, you know, how the field takes off in the first, you know, few dozen laps here. Usually, that's where you start to see everybody trying to jockey for position, try to find out where they want to be at the right time. You never want to be, you know, caught stuck in the middle of the pack or, you know. In an aggressive group of cars. I know when I'm racing here, you know, in my free time here, and nowhere near as good as these guys. My goal is usually to be, you know, with the, you know, top 3 or 4 in the front, or be on the tail end of that draft so I don't lose it and start losing laps. You know, anywhere in the middle for the first, you know, 180 laps or so is the most dangerous place to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Let's see.
we're getting ready to get these cars lined up down on the track. You want to go ahead and start with our starting lineup for today?
Yep, let's go through it here. What we're seeing here is Dan Stevens put on the pole in pre-qualifying with Gavin Barber going on the outside here. And then on the inside second row, we got Jason Lotridge and Robert Love in the Bucky's car. We got Robbie Bradbury and Robert Northway rounding out the third row. Rob Love and Ewan Baker going to be in row 4 here. And to round out the top 10, we'll have Paul McKenzie and Gavin Cox.
All right, yeah. So now,
Yeah, it looks
go ahead, take her away.
like we're getting ready. Yeah, it looks like we're getting ready to get things rolling here. Everybody's coming out on the pace lap, lining up behind the safety car, you know, trying to make sure we are able to continue safe here for the remainder of the race.
Yeah, we're gonna keep the starting grid up
Let's
here.
see.
As these drivers are getting ready to climb up here, up into turn number 3. So, um,
Yeah, we're warming up for the start here for sure. Let's see here. What we're working with is everyone's catching up in turn 3, turn 4 here. Unlike Dega, we're not going to have to worry about getting all the way through the tri-oval here. Everybody's probably going to get started right, you know, as the pace car peels off on pit road here. We'll get all lined up. Everybody is trying to figure out how to get as close to the guy in front without jumping the start here. And we are getting close to the Geico's starting zone, and we're off here with the 3 car going low and putting quite a gap on the 03 here. But you know, as you'll see a lot of times here, Mike, the outside line, you know, we'll stack up like that, and we'll be able to, you know, get a little bit of a run going here. You know, if you can link up car to car. But you know, we're hoping for some good behavior early in the race, as you know, this is 200 laps. or 5 hours, whatever comes first. And we're hoping for a good clean one, so we don't have to sit here and watch eye pacing for the next few hours.
Yeah, definitely. As these drivers are coming around and out of turn number 4 for the very first time here at Daytona, something I see throughout this field is a lot of white cars, and they're pretty much matching. So we have a really good chance that a white car with a feather on the side is probably going to win the race here today. So we definitely got to watch that race team as they hit the high banks up in turns 1 and 2 now.
Yeah, I always like to say Daytona and Talladega, any kind of plate race like this, and even Atlanta these days with the repave, is going to be, an effort of, making friends and losing friends. Looks like we have, I missed the number, but a gray car has gone off onto the inside wall. You might be able to catch that, Mike, while I follow the pack.
Yeah, that would be Gavin Cox all by himself on the back straightaway in that triple five machine.
Man, that's not the way to go out on the backstretch on lap 3 or 4 that we're on here. It's not what you want to happen this early in the race. But hey, there's a lot of time to, sneak in some pit stops, maybe get that lucky dog and get the damage repaired. Because at the end of the day, oof, it's all about just keeping the aero clean and making sure your engine's not low on power. But again, yeah, it looks like everybody is on their best behavior all of a sudden here. Everybody's lining up, and typical Daytona is once everybody kind of feels comfortable, whether they're in top 2, 3, 4, it's going to be a race of fuel management and making sure we don't go overheating the cars really early.
Yeah, definitely. As we're seeing what happened to Gavin Cox in that triple five machine, he tried to come down in line, but the hole just closed up real quick on him, and he did make contact with that. That inside wall. So, unfortunately, not a very good start here for Cox as he's trying to make his way around this track solo at the moment.
Yeah, and when you lose the draft, it can just be an absolute killer. To be honest, here, it can feel lonely. It can feel like you need somebody or something to just get your attention back to it. But just ride around on that bottom line, try to make sure you don't lose a lap, and depending on how bad the damage is looking for him when he gets into the pack, he might have a little more luck once he's tucked in behind somebody to just kind of maintain that first car lap down, maybe get the lucky dog on our first yellow here. All I'm really seeing here though is, like I said, typical Daytona, 1 by 1, 2 by 2. But it looks like the outside line is kind of building a bit of a charge. Always curious, how early folks are going to start, trying to jockey up for position. Everybody wants to be polite until they realize they're, in 14th, 15th place. And it's time to move up really quick before we start getting shuffled back. And, a lot of times you can get caught out if, you're on the tail end of this pack and there's no, there's no draft to be heard of. You might be the 3rd, 4th car lap down and you catch yourself on lap 160 with, no shot at, catching the field here.
Yeah, absolutely. As we're riding on board here with Ray Partridge in that number 8 machine, you can listen to how much he has to play with the throttle here in this line. And, obviously you don't really want to push very much with these race cars. So it's very nice to see, that he's got some really good throttle management here. And that's definitely something what these guys want here early on.
No, exactly. And, you'll see here, like, late in the race, we're going to see these cars, especially with these next gen machines where, their bumpers are made of steel. You're going to have them, bumper to bumper, and nobody's going to care about the overheating. But right now, everybody's pretty spread out trying to keep the air. You're going to see, I believe Cox is up there on the outside, being a good citizen to the iRacing community here, going up high, making sure he's making room for everybody and, not being the one to cause the big one this early. I'm gonna follow Mike here to the back, and we're gonna see, like I'm saying, if he can tuck in behind and get some of the draft here. He might be in okay shape here to get a pit stop out of the way. But we'll see here, or Gavin, if he can sneak in behind the pack, or if he's just gonna drop by, and fall like a bomb. Yeah, it looks like there's no shot here. He's gonna have to really hope for a caution here early on.
Yeah, that front end damage that he sustained by hitting that inside wall is definitely not helping him whatsoever.
Not at all. Yeah, and anything on the front end here is just an absolute killer. Anything where this air is, air is just trying to slide over the cars here, and if you have anything flattened out all more than it already is, you're out of luck here. But as we turn our attention back to the front end of this pack, it looks like the outside line is really starting to move forward here. We got what do we got here? I gotta zoom myself in, to be honest. These new screens. What do we got? Robert Northway, I believe, is making an effort on the outside line there. Looks like we got the 44 car here. Robert Love here as well, leading the charge in the Bucky's car. He's looking like the one person that wants to make this outside line work. You'll see as well as we're getting in here, for those unfamiliar with these drafting tracks, you're almost pushing off like a wake, like a boat in a pond here. So the air is coming off the nose at like a 20-30 degree angle. When Robert starts to catch up to this pack, you might see him, if he wants to get a little more aggressive, move down a lane here and try to dump some of the air that's coming off of the nose onto the rear bumper or rear spoiler of any of the cars around him. What that'll do is, if he's able to get some of that air off of the front of his nose onto the rear wing of any of these cars near him, it's going to just slow down that bottom line, and he can incrementally keep moving up here. What else you're seeing here is the top two have kind of escaped a little bit, so we might see this bottom line kind of work together, and maybe these cars second and third and fourth, and the bottom line might pop outside here if they feel like it's worth a shot.
Yeah, definitely. But this is kind of different versus what it used to be. Back in the day. When we used to see the 2-car tango. So it's a lot different, but it's going to be very interesting to see how all this will play out.
Oh, for sure. And, what you're seeing here is, a move back to the classic cadence of drafting. The new age of NASCAR has moved into like this fuel saving approach. I think now that we've seen a little bit more of the the advantages and disadvantages of how well the next gen car can and can't draft. But when they throw that big clear rear wing on it, it is able to just stay full throttle and not really worry about losing any aero like the older cars would with the little short wings on them.
Yeah.
But there's a, I don't know, Mike, there's a bit of a how would you say it, a pressure to stay up front but be at 70% throttle as long as you can.
Yeah, I mean, one of the hardest things to do, and it really boils down actually to a lot of the times here at Daytona is fuel mileage, depending on how these cautions fall. So far we've gone 12 laps, no caution, knock on wood, right next to me. So everybody behind the leaders of each line, they're practically running 70% down to 50% and still be able to keep pace, where your race leader, Dan Stevens in that number 3 machine, right now, he's full throttle all the way, not saving fuel. So saving fuel is definitely one of the biggest challenges here, especially for a 500-mile race, because we don't know when, how, or if those cautions will fall. So, I mean, these guys that are running mid-pack, they're probably only running maybe 50 to 40% throttle. So they can go maybe an extra 5 laps than everybody else.
For sure. I mean, even like second, third in line is anybody behind that, you're not using anywhere near the fuel that Dan up front in the 3 is going to be using. As we see, what is it? Rob in the red and white, Rob in the red and white 605 here just came up on the outside here get up in front of Robert Love here. They're looking like they're trying to make a little push, and you can see a little bit of side drafting has started. He's moving up and down that line. Now he's even with the car third in line on the bottom. And, you know, here's that wake I'm talking about. The air off the front of the nose to dump it on that car on the bottom, and then he moves up. So he's able to take the momentum away from the bottom line, get the momentum from behind here with the 44 Rob. And, you know, looks like they've already pushed themselves to the lead, and we might have our first lead change of the race here, Mike, especially if, you know, Dan doesn't get this big push on the bottom.
Yeah, definitely. As you see that Bucky's machine is absolutely pushing the heck out of Little Debbie right there as they come across the tri-oval. And I believe he very well might have led that lap. And according to my marker, yeah,
that's what I'm seeing.
He did lead that last lap. So
led 1 laps. There we go. we got to work on the graphics. We don't have led 1 lap scheduled for Daytona yet. But there we go. We got Rob and Rob and Robert have, you know, taken the lead here. And, you know, it seems like Robert Love ran that outside line by himself for this whole time with no pushers. All he needed was one of those guys from the bottom that was ready and willing to try to get up to the front. Now, I personally here, you know, when I'm racing at Daytona, my goal is usually to be second or third in the bottom line. My reasoning is it's just the safest place to be. If anything happens in the top 3, you have an escape to the left. If you're on the outside lane anywhere and there's a crash, your room is between the car to your left and the wall. You got nowhere else to go. But if you're second or third in that bottom line, especially this early in the race, well, what are we? How many laps are we in here, Mike?
16.
For some reason,
we're coming to
overlay is taking it. Oh, there we are. Yeah, with these new graphics, I'm trying to find out where everything is these days. You know, new season, new me. But what we're looking at here, 16 laps in, is you just don't want to hit anything. At the end of the day, we're looking at, you know, Gavin Cox here down at the bottom. He's already 2 laps down, purely just not being in the draft. There's just no way around it. If you have damage, you're not in the draft, you're going to need to get extremely lucky. Like if the yellow comes out right now, like Gavin might get one of those laps back, but if anyone else has a problem and is a lap down, he's out of luck, and that might be his race up, but obviously get it up first. Looks like we are back up and running here. Just, you know, typical technical difficulties because we're running a bunch of different programs on a bunch of different computers around the world here. But what I'm seeing here with Mike, Mike, here is not much has happened. All we really missed is the outside line is wound up and then backed up again. It looks like the 8 car of Ray Partridge here is looking to make something happen. He's been working his way up the field here for the last, 5-10 minutes.
People are saying there was no sim audio either.
Yeah, so far these drivers are just really taking it easy at the moment, and that's something these guys are realizing, and we still got a very long way to go here at Daytona. We're only working lap number 19.
Yeah, I mean, we got a long way to go, and like I said, at the end of the day, just don't damage the car. That is the only thing these drivers should be worried about right now. Looks like the outside line has really built up a run here, though. What are we looking at? The 9 car, the 8 car here is taking the lead. We have a new leader, Wade Patridge, and Ryan Steele has helped them out with a huge push. Let's see if they slide down in front or if they want to keep that outside line running. Looks like Ray does not have room to go down, so now we just have to figure out, is Ray going to stick with Ryan or, bounce to the bottom? And looks like for now he's kind of caught in between decisions here. He's going to stick with his man Ryan outside, and Ryan's going to stick with him. He's not going to try to shuffle him back, and it's probably good this early in the race that we're not going to be, trying to shuffle 3 wide right now. Everybody's pretty much just staying in line. Looking at the bottom side of the track here, and, the Bucky's car here with a Rob and Rob combo on the bottom. are really holding that bottom line down. And I think if there's anything we've learned from this point in the race, it's that if you want to be anywhere, it's probably on the front end of Rob Love's bumper here. He has just been the one that's been holding the bottom and top line strong here this entire race. Oh, for sure. Just filling it as needed. It looks like we got a question in the chat here from Morph2216. What can you do when as Cox when he's 2 laps down? Does he have a chance of catching back up? Yes. In NASCAR, there is the lucky dog in most series in the NASCAR circuit. So if you are the first car 1 lap down, 1 lap down the first place car, right now there's no one 1 lap down. So then it will go down to the 2 lap down cars. And right now, Gavin being the only car 2 laps down, if there was a yellow to come out right now, he would get his first lap back. Other cases, like he could find himself racing people for, an extra lap. And, as I look here at the broadcast, it looks like Gavin might be at risk of losing a 3rd lap. So he's going to need to hope for a good handful of cautions, but it's not looking good for Gavin.
Health, I wasn't muted. Like I was just saying, as long as he keeps his nose clean and the caution comes out, like it comes out right now, he would get a lucky dog. Everybody comes in, does what they need to do. He stays out. We go back green. Nobody hits or whatever, gets another caution. Everybody comes down pit road. He can get a wave by. And then pray for another quick caution so he can come down and get fuel. So there is still a very good opportunity that he can get those 3 laps back. So we're not counting him out of the picture yet. I mean, we still got over 400 miles to go here at Daytona. So, I mean, anything could still happen.
Absolutely. I mean, Daytona is the story of anyone can happen. Anyone can pull off a win. You don't got to be the best. You don't have to be the best oval driver to understand what to do here. It's just, again, a really strong effort of making friends and making sure you can cash in on all that equity later. Looks like we've had some requests in the chat to just up the car audio. Looks like everybody wants to hear those engines classic Crank It Up from when we were kids. It looks like on the outside, we got the 8 car of Ray Partridge again. Is working again with Ryan Steele. We're going to see if these two are going to be able to get as good of a little system going as, the 2 Robs on the inside line. It looks like Ray has, put a little gap on Ryan, so they're not going to get as good of a push until Ryan can kind of pop that bubble of air between the bumpers.
This broadcast goes, you guys, if you guys hear something that's not right, something different, you guys type it in that chat. I'm gonna do my best to meet your standards, so let me hear everything that you guys got. And I cranked up that sound, but I don't want to also blend us out either. So you guys let me know how it is, who needs to be louder, who needs to be quiet. You guys let me know and we'll go from there.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's early in the season, everybody, and we're still piecing this together on our end too. I'm genuinely curious here, Mike. You've dabbled in this league a lot more. I've only really raced in a few select majors races, and then the majors 24 a bunch on the endurance side. How many of these guys are running spotters? Do you know?
Oh, absolutely. I can probably guarantee you a lot of these guys are running with spotters. I know when I ran the Intimidator 500 last year in the 87s, I was actually able to come home with the win thanks to my spotter keeping me out of trouble. So, I mean, these guys, they've got spotters, probably every single one of them. So, I mean, as long as they can make sure that their driver gets to the front cleanly and stay out of trouble, these spotters are definitely big help here in the major series for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, I've I've been running this for years here in the iRacing official Daytona 500. My spotter's in the chat here, Morph. Actually, he although he can't figure out how to get out of D-class oval, he's one of the best spotters I've ever worked with here. I can't say we've come back with a Daytona 500 win yet, but we have come with a good little handful of second places over and over and over again. We'll keep our Olympus Autosport Daytona 24 win from this last couple weeks ago in our low split with our buddies here. But a spotter is paramount here at Daytona. I feel like not just on the oval side, but also on the road course side. It's one of the very few tracks where you can see pretty much the entire thing from the spotter stand. You'll get a lot of folks here from the NASCAR side that are helping out the endurance teams during the World X24 and various races, because it's just something they're used to making those call outs on. It's almost a shame that the NASCARs aren't going to do the road course anymore, it looks like.
Yeah, definitely. This is very similar. This camera right here is almost similar to what your spotters see here at Daytona. Obviously, these cameras will zoom in just a little bit as they get a little further away, but I mean, I've attended many races at Daytona, as I live only about 20 minutes from the track. But let me tell you what, once they hit that backstretch, if you don't got that those binoculars with you, all you see is just these tiny little ants going down the back straightaway from the other side of the speedway. So spotters are very important here at Daytona. So that's why you see all of them up top with binoculars, and because once they hit that backstretch, you have no choice but to use those.
Absolutely. I mean, here's the deal. We're looking at the chat here too, because we're talking spotters still, which again, one of the most important parts of this race, especially in real life. In real life, you're not getting that iRacing or crew chief spotter going clear immediately. Like, you're relying on somebody else's human eyes. You don't got a radar, you don't got a beeper, you don't got a light. It's you got one little tiny mirror on your left and that electronic mirror on the rear end. There's not much else you're going by except one guy, on the top of the spotter stand with a pair of binoculars looking down the back straight, telling you when you're clear. When I've been running the Daytona 500 and other races at these plate tracks with my spotter who's in the chat right now, he brought up a really good point, and this will happen in real life. It happens in this race, I guarantee it. We're having these guys making deals with other spotters throughout the race. They're dropping things in the private chat and the DMs and saying, hey, I'm with you till lap 195. I'm pitting on lap 39, whatever it could be, because at the end of the day, if you don't pit with a group, you're out of the draft. If you get to the end of the race and you don't have your buddy near you, you're out of luck. You're going to get freight trained right down the middle or right out the right side of the pack here. This is, again, I'm going to keep saying it throughout the race for those that don't hear it. This is one big social experiment for the entire race. There is no other way around it. It's one of the very few things where you can't be looking out for yourself until the very end.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, especially here on iRacing, when we do get into our big events, like the Daytona 500 that's coming up here in just a couple weeks' time, just you're not racing with the same people every single week like the NASCAR drivers. Those guys racing with each other every single week, every day, every night, and so they got time to learn. And obviously, like in real life, they have manufacturer meetings at these restrictor plate races, and the manufacturers are like, hey, you got to help each other. And that's it, because we want a Chevy, or we want a Ford, or we want a Toyota in victory lane. So you have to work with each other. Now they go back to their own teams. They're like, all right, so let's work with those guys, but let's make our main focus here on this team. So a lot of us in iRacing don't have that, because you never know where you're going to drop when they create these splits. So as you're going through, like with me, I've got one Daytona 500 under my belt in the NASCAR iRacing series, but I got there because I started to find my partners early on. and I try to stick with the same people throughout the race so that when it comes down to it, I don't need to communicate with them. I can go, help, and they're like, all right, I got you. And that's how I got my 500 win. So, just working with a couple people in the race can lead you to victory here at these restrictor plate races, with or without a spotter. A spotter is even better.
You never know when you're going to have an opportunity to with, you might be working with a group of 2 or 3 guys for most of this race, sticking in line, just, not really messing around much, not really dive bobbing anybody. Just, we could be looking right now. We could be looking, top 20 here. Somebody, you see how we're too wide for the first, I don't know, let's get a zoomed out view of this. We're too wide or so for the first, what are we looking at? 7, 8, 9 rows here. But after that,
Just about. Yeah.
like pretty much straight line, just a string of cars. We can see this group of team cars here at the tail end of the double file pack with the white, red, and black here.
Wrong people.
What team cars are those here? That's on me. Yeah, let's get a zoom on Mike. Do you know what team that is?
Let's see if it tells us.
Some Polaris sponsored team. If anybody in the chat knows the name of this team, drop it in there. But as you can see, there's a line of 3 cars here. Let's say 1 or 2 of those cars go a lap down later, have repaired damage. All of a sudden, you got 2 buddies behind you that are pushing you the entire race. They got nothing to lose, nothing to gain. They're just here to help you. So, at the end of the day, you want to be the car on the lead lap. You want to be the car with the most friends. And, you might have to strategically trash talk a few other people in the race. You never know. Sometimes it's finding stay away from that guy and not sounding like you're being too mean about it, but you might want to find a way around somebody by saying this guy's causing problems. Again, this is just what is it? Dale Carnegie? Did he say How to Win Friends and Influence People? Isn't that a book or something?
Yeah,
I've been reading a little bit. Is how it is. Let me know when it's back.
We're back.
All right, looks like we're back again. Looks like typical iRacing update. We're just working out some kinks since the new season dropped. But we're back and we're running full speed again here. As we actually catch at a really good time. It looks like the 8 car of Repatriate and Ryan Steele are back at it again. They're going to try to swing back outside and bring back this run that they've been trying to build up for the last sounds like 5, 10, 15 laps. We got to be getting up on pit stops here soon as well. Usually these cars are getting 30 or 39 to 45, 50 laps, and we're looking at already at lap 38. So I'm genuinely curious when some of these guys are going to start coming in and start shuffling to the bottom, because you can't pit from the top line.
Yeah, even though some people think they can, but that usually does not end well whatsoever. But yeah, these guys, they're getting ready to come down pit road for the very first time, and depending on how many come down at once, it's going to get interesting.
Absolutely, and we just saw the 8-car Wave Patriots drop right down. He finally gave up his buddy Ryan Steele. I'm curious if he's going to give up that friendship real early, or if he's going to try and hold on to the bottom line to make sure he can pit. It looks like Ryan's actually dropping like a fly here. He's the 37 car is trying to get a push on, but I don't know what's going on. The whole top line is just shuffled out. I don't know if they're trying to drop in line or what. But the 37's having a lot of trouble behind the 12 here and hasn't given up on it. He's trying to keep him pushing so we don't have to worry about going 3 wide.
Yeah, definitely. It's something tells me that we're going to get ready to start seeing some green flag pit stops here in the next couple of laps.
Absolutely, Mike. And if you want to get the monitor back up within the internal stream here, it'd be awesome. There we go, we're rolling. Just want to make sure I can see what everybody is seeing in real time here. But what we're seeing here is the outside line is slowly dying. It is dying like the middle class right now. It's everybody's trying to get down to the inside line and figure out time out this pit stop. And if you're on the outside line, your options are really limited here. You can either, try to squeeze in like Ryan Steele is there, and ooh, he's not going to be able to do it. That would have caused some major issues. Or you just, hope you got enough gas, and like I said, Ryan's going to squeeze in. Now the 37 is kind of out to dry with the 17. And here we go. We're getting the first round of pit stops here. As you can see, cars are waving out left and right, trying not to speed. Looks so. I'm very curious yes. If what is it? The red car in front there is going to be handed a speeding penalty or not. And little Debbie 65. What is it? The 605.
Yeah, we have
607. Yeah,
we got 1, 2, 3 penalties for speeding on entry.
Oh.
Robert Love.
That's the one thing you can't do.
Yep, Robert Love, Rob Love, and Ray Partridge. So, the 44, the 605, and the 12.
Man, that's tough to see your leaders get caught. This is not fun for them at all. This is not what they need, especially if this race is just going to keep going green like it is right now. Catching pit road here, see if we're going to get another round of pit stops. We are not. Everyone else, like we were saying, if you are not in the front burning all this fuel, you will have so much more gas than a lot of the other guys in the front. All these guys have been running 50 to 70% throttle this entire race. This entire line of cars has saved gas since the very beginning. We might have all been sitting here looking like it's going to be Rob, it's going to be Ryan, it's going to be Rob, it's going to be Ryan, it's going to be Ray, all this whole race. And now we're sitting here, none of them are going to be a part of this race as it stands if they aren't able to get their laps back. And if there's only 3, 4, 5 cautions, that's all the laps that are going to be given back with the lucky dog. It's not like everyone's getting a wave around. And here comes some mayhem. Everyone must be running low here in the the mid pack, and looks like everyone's pretty well behaved themselves on this pit entry. I'm very surprised because so many cars have just come in. As I all line up to hopefully get at least 2 tires, maybe 4 here, and get back on track. But at the end of the day, tires aren't really a big deal here at Daytona. As long as you have something on the wheels, you're going to be fine in the draft. We'll catch back up to see this last round of pit stops here. Hopefully, if I'm looking correctly at telemetry, it looks like the 46 is currently leading this line, and he'll be the one to hopefully bring everybody down on pit road. And here comes pretty much everybody except a few select cars that somehow have just a little more gas, and we have a little bit of contacts on the way into pit road. I'm curious how that's going to work out with the penalties here. Mike, if you see any pop up, feel free to cut me off and shout them out. And we got contact on pit road halfway through, right around the middle. It looks like someone has missed their pit box as well. And we'll see how bad the damage is from that. Obviously, it's wasn't a high speed contact, but you never want to see that here, and you might want to get that replay here on the I believe the 27 car and see what happened there.
Alrighty, Martin Wag in the 39, he had just had a meatball. I'm not sure for what, but Clint Day got caught speeding on pit road.
Oh, man. I mean, that last round of pit stops, there is something to say about being early on pit road, but, there's also something to say, to try to avoid having too many people with you. You want friends, but not too many. As you can see, when you get too many people on pit road, you're going to have a major issue trying to get into your box. But, overall, to get through an entire round of green flag pit stops without having a yellow, honestly, I haven't seen that for a few years here.
What number did you say that we should go back and take a look at?
Oh, yeah, the 27 on pit road. Take a peek one lap back here. Had some contact on pit road, and I'll keep an eye on the leaders here while you're on that in case we miss anything. Really, we're getting a blend here. We're not missing a lot of on-track action. It looks like everybody's pretty much behaved themselves, rejoining the race here. But yeah, you should be good to go ahead and rewind that a lap or two to Cameron's pit stop lap here, Mike.
Yep, I am actually just coming back here to see where he came down pit road, so that I can just pull it right up. So give me just one. There you are. Let's take a look here. Oh, nope, that's him backing up.
Yeah, let's bring it back a few I don't know, 10 seconds or so.
There we are.
Oh,
No.
yeah. So
Yeah,
even a little more back, a little more back.
All right, you're gonna make me do it the old.
We're seeing his pit stop. Yeah, we might just have to bring out the rewind. It's definitely something you don't want to miss here.
Yeah, I don't like doing it, so but we're gonna do it. And we're just gonna come back all the way back here. Yeah. All right. So
Yeah. So here we go. We'll see his entry here to pit road. He thinks he's got room here. He thinks he's fine, and then the car in front slows down a little bit more than he expected. Now he's stuck all the way on the right side, trying to figure out a way into his box, and he makes slight contact with one, big contact with the 99, and then completely misses his box and has to wheel all the way back.
Oh,
and forward. That's, I mean, under green flag conditions, that's 10-15 seconds. Looks like the 27 has also just been given a warning for pit lane contact. Oof, you don't want to be doing that. The penalties could vary here for, contact on pit road or contact on track. But, at the end of the day, we made it through a round of green flag pit stops with only some minor contact and a warning on pit road. I think that can just speak to the quality that Majors is, able to put on here.
Yeah, definitely. And, it's been an absolute amazing race so far as we're coming to complete lap number 47, coming to 48. As we have probably, it looks like just about a 15-car breakaway here before it gets jumps back to the to the second group as they're coming through the tri-oval now.
Yeah, what's our gap to the second group here? I feel like we are
about 3-second gap.
Really separated here now.
Yeah, so it looks like we got just about a 3-second gap between 10th and 11th. And then we have another gap from 21st to 22nd, which is about 10 seconds back. And then 5 seconds back between 28th and 29th. And then just almost a 20-second gap between 30th and 31st. So it's pretty much spread out throughout this entire field. That's
crazy. I mean, I've never seen overall a race at Daytona be this calm. I don't know if it's the international flavor where, a lot of the Aussies and New Zealanders here are, not as aggressive as the average American plate racer, or what it is. But, what we're seeing here is honestly a master class. Let's see, what are we looking at here? We got, we're going to have this processional again. So, you might have a lot of these drivers that are starting to think about how, at the end of the day, oval racing like this has turned into a bit of an endurance race if there's not a lot of yellows. You're starting to count back, if we pit on lap 40, let's say, we got lap 40, and then lap 40, laps 80, lap 120, lap 160, lap 200. You could split this up into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stints if you're able to save enough gas and cross over lap 40 every time. You might have other guys that have been leading the pack real long time. They're looking at only getting, 38, laps out of the tank, and that's going to require them to make an extra stop and go if this thing goes green all the way, which, to be clear, I don't think we're going to see this green in the last, 30, 40 laps here. People are going to start getting a little more impatient than they are right now.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with that.
Let's see what we're working with here. So the biggest gap here is the 6-second gap here. If you want to show between P11 and P12 here, where Phil Otto is kind of leading the next pack. So he has one awful issue here. He's, you know what? Actually, I stand corrected. It looks like he has gotten lucky and tucked in behind the 23 car. So Phil might be all right for being able to save gas there. As we look at the 23 car, what position is the 23 car in? I am looking at a line of text here. If you go one spot up from Phil here on track.
Yeah. The 23. No.
Or 29. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm seeing that 9. Yeah, no, you're good. Looks like Adam is in 11th. That's what was going on. I couldn't read the number on the side of that car. So yeah, Adam in the 29 here is going to be in a bit of a disadvantage. So although he's not leading the pack, he's stuck here wasting all that gas with almost no advantage. And his only choice is to keep that throttle pinned to the floor. He has to hope that he gets pushed all the way up to that pack. But the problem with that is this whole pack ahead is all behaving. They are all lined up in a processional line, and they have a lot more horsepower lined up in front here than everybody in the back. If we were to check in with our previous leaders, no need to switch over on the cameras, but we got I'll go through here as I'm looking at it. Robert Love, lap down. Ray Partridge, lap down. Rob Love, lap down. That's everyone that was in the top 3 of this race, purely down to those pit road speeding penalties. If we don't get any more yellows, no one else, they aren't going to get their laps back. Their race is over. But right now, Robert Love is holding that lucky dog position and, really hanging on for dear life to make sure he stays in the draft. It doesn't end up, getting any sort of issues here.
Any more yellows? Man, we've been absolutely green flag since we've gone. We're now working lap number 54, and Robert Northway, he is currently our race leader.
Yeah, and we're sitting here, with really just 3 packs of cars here, going around. 3 bigger packs with a few smaller ones here. We aren't really going to run into any lap traffic anytime soon, but it's just going to be really interesting to see how this lead pack decides. A lot of new friends here that haven't been working together this whole race. It looks like we have some teammates linked up front out of the top out of the top 4. Looks like we have what are we talking? The lead car, or first and third, are team cars for sure here. Between Rob and Matt,
yep,
and then
so that is
Ben as well.
Yeah, so that is Kiwi Sim Racing Speed Nation.
Yep.
And you can definitely tell those cars apart. Oh, we have a caution.
We have our first caution of the race. What is this for? I am looking around as well. I don't see anyone off track, and I know we don't do debris cautions here in iRacing.
Robert Henry?
He may. I see someone down on the apron, but I mean, let us know, Chad, if you see what happened here.
There it is.
Oh, here we go. We got Robert Henry and some contact with.
There they are. So Jason Lottridge.
Yeah, Jason Lottridge. Oh man, Jason was up in the front here for part of the race, and looks like he just got tagged in the rear corner. Now damage didn't look too bad, but watching the replay, he had contact on looks like 3 out of the 4 corners of the car here. This is not going to be good. Now we're caught in an interesting situation here. We are on what are we looking at? Lap 30. 40. Wow. I mean, I don't really see why that was necessary. I don't see how this happened. I mean, it's just more of we're not fighting for anything. Yeah.
Right, so as we slow it down, it looks like that bottom lane, they check up a lot, and I can't tell who that is. Mary. Yeah, I'm not sure who it is, but he had checked up. He went up high. I don't think he realized Jason was up there. And that just turned Jason right around. And unfortunately, right there, he got just absolutely clobbered again.
That is big damage here. Oof. The 03 is, Jason's not gonna have a good time here. That's gonna be at least 10-15 minutes in the pits if I'm looking at this correctly. And we were just sitting here complimenting all the Kiwi cars here, but at the end of the day, they seem to be part of the reason this whole crash happened. With checking up into the rear corner panel, unless I'm missing something on the 03 coming down.
Nah, so the Heath Mannering that is in the 911 machine. He's the one that had to make the quick movement up high, and then that's just what got into Ray Partridge there. in that number 8 machine.
That's Blade Racing.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're gonna, we're pulling down pit road here. We got about half the cars here in their box. We're gonna have to see who comes out front. No contact yet, as far as I can see, and we already have cars leaving pit road. The winner off pit road, at least, is looking like it may be Baker. Because did Fox stay out here? Am I viewing that correctly? Let's move up the line here. Robert has fallen back a bit. It's still showing him in first, but I believe Fox is taking the lead here off of pit road. And in front of Fox, we have Clint Daly lap down, Matt lap down, Rob, and Martin Wall. And for all the Robert Love fans out there, he has gotten the lucky dog, it looks like. So Robert Love is going to be coming around the track here, and it looks like he's already worked his way back to pit road here to make his scheduled pit stop. He will be at the far back of the field, but hey, at the end of the day, you got to be on the lead lap to have any chance at Daytona here.
So you see the 44 Robert Love making his way out of the pits now. Paul McKenzie, Jason Lawridge still down here getting service done. And let's
absolutely. Mike, I'm gonna let you fill this up for a second. Give me 30 seconds for a quick break.
Yeah, absolutely. As these drivers are coming out here out of turn number 4, it does seem that Jake Fox, he did stay out here, and he will take over the race lead, it seems. Take a look here at my timing stuff. Back on lap 41. Yeah, he's stayed out. So very interesting call here for Jake Fox in that number 08 machine. Ewan Baker in that number 34 machine. Ewan Baker, an absolute massive fast driver, especially over in round 1. Here for the international region, he absolutely dominated over at Winton Motorsports Plex. Just absolutely dominated the first couple races, and unfortunately got taken out in the third race. But man, let me tell you what, Ewan is just an absolute beast. Seeing him up front does not surprise me whatsoever. And then you got Dan Steven and Dean Mole back and forth. And Matthew Pluck, he's back there in that 5th spot, and he's going to be joined by Hayden Kirk in that 371 machine. So a lot of very good drivers up front on this restart. And we're going to go ahead and get this thing back underway here at Daytona. And then, again, guys, this is our first caution. So we just ran over 50 laps.
Absolutely
caution free. So that's just an incredible start here for round number 2. And if the racing continues as it is, you guys need to buckle up, because we're going to have a lot of fun here tonight.
Absolutely. And as we come up here to green, thanks for covering there, Mike. These races can get long. What we're going to be looking at here is Jake Fox has taken a big gamble. What he is thinking here is, he only uses up about 13 laps of his fuel, and he is gambling on another caution here in the next 30 or so laps, because if he does not get a yellow before the next round of pit stops, he is going to be pitting all by himself. Now we are rolling green over the line. Jake Fox is taking us, trying not to put too far of a gap between the car behind him and up ahead. He's going to close down on the bottom line and make that his, as everyone tries to shuffle in and stay in line except for the 37 and 34. They have the, looks like the 34 is going to leave the 37 out to dry. And we're just going to have to see how far the 37 falls back here, if anybody's going to try to give him room, or they're just going to keep closing up every single gap and not let him in. And he's going to try and squeeze in and shuffle up the line and make him check up just a little bit. Dean seems to be the odd man out here with not a lot of teammates here with all those Kiwi cars up front.
Yeah, so I think we have just about a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, maybe about 13 or 14 of those drivers in this race alone. So yeah, it's pretty much everybody against that team.
Yeah, you got to start having your spotters talk to each other. You got to start getting those Venmo requests out early or whatever we're allowed to do here. But you know, I mean, it wouldn't be the first time I've gotten one requested to me. You know, not gonna lie. But yeah, at the end of the day, if you can build up the relational equity with you know, your peers here that aren't maybe not be on your team, you know, that's what's gonna build it up. But I am genuinely curious if any of these Kiwi guys are making any secret friendships out on the track here for the end of the race, because it's going to be really hard for them to decide who's going to get preferential treatment towards the end if we could have 3 or 4 of them up front at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to zoom in here on a couple of these drivers and paint schemes real quick. Matthew Pluck in this number 51 machine. Let me get a better side-by-side. There it is. So he's got the silver leaf thing on his side of his car. So he is actually a silver driver for Kiwi Sim Racing. Now, if you were to come back to Hayden Kirk in that number 371, you're going to realize that he's got a gold leaf on his car. So he is a pro driver for that team. And then you've got
That just means he's got more money in his Venmo here, Mike, or what?
No, so that means they've been around a lot longer. So the way the majors work is that you have your pros, your silvers, your sportsman drivers. Your sportsmen are your up and comings, you know, first season, and then you move up to the silver, and then you come up as a pro. And to signify that, that's how they figure out who on the race team is what class for majors.
Understood.
And I absolutely love that idea, the way they did it. And like, because I was going through and, you know, writing down teams, I'm like, wait a second. And then it all just like clicked for me.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Now I am curious. You know, is this a world, and as Jake Fox is moving up the track to let the entire bottom line through, you know what's probably happening? He's probably sitting here thinking, not only do they have a fuel advantage on me, but if I sit here up front full throttle, we're going to have a real big issue here if we don't get a yellow soon. So hopefully Jake Fox has an opportunity to tuck in behind somebody. It looks like he's not even really trying to make something happen on the outside. He just wants to get behind anybody. You can see he's trying to move down and hopefully find a gap, but it's just not working. And this is going to be detrimental to the outside line. You know, I'm curious what the, you know, if the 310 is actually able, you know, if Phil Otto here is actually able to know what's going on and why Jake Fox is kind of dropping back, trying to find a spot and, you know, kind of lifting here. He's not in a, you know, a very comfortable spot, to be honest. As it looks like he just lucked out. The 76 has moved up in front of him to be able to pull, you know, some of the weight of the, you know, the fuel disadvantage here. And now we even have the 310, you know, Phil Otto here, you know, going around him. So this is you know, a golden spot for Jake to be, minus the fact that if there is a yellow, it's probably going to involve him with how, you know, busy this pack's starting to get.
Yeah, so this 76 of Matt Chalker, he is with Kingsman Racing, and they actually have 3 different teams here with the Major Series. I can't remember off the top of my head of them all, but you've got the Kingsman Racing, and then you got like the Kingsman's something racing. So that's what you see with these drivers here on the outside. You know, with the 76 and the 310, you know, they're both Kingsman Racing, but I believe they actually race for 2 different Kingsman Racing teams, but they're still pretty much one organization.
Gotcha. So it's more of just, you know, split up here. And I know I've seen the KSR cars before, you know, very often, you know, just, you know, out in the wild, out in the hosted events, out in the Draft Masters weeks. It's definitely a livery that you've seen, you know, plenty of times.
I think she's.
It looks like now we're just, you know, getting into this 2x2. Everybody's getting a little antsy. At the end of the day, you know, we're still not even halfway through. We're about to cross over 1/3 of this, you know, this race reaching completion here. We're not going to be in the time to start jockeying for position, really. Nobody should be thinking about that yet. But, you know, here we are. Everybody's racing. We're going in circles. Get a little antsy, get a little bored, you know, and you start thinking, you know, maybe 10th ain't where I want to be. Maybe I want to be more like 5th or 6th. Maybe I want to make sure I'm working my way to the bottom line going forward.
Yeah, definitely for sure. You know, as these drivers are up here in turns 1 and 2 here once again, working lap number 67. So we're getting closer and closer to that halfway point, and you know, I'm absolutely loving the racing that we have been witnessing here today.
Yeah, this has been honestly some of the most clean racing we've seen. Obviously, there was the one mistake with that yellow, and you know, a little bit of an incident on pit road. But in reality, this is you know, this is not tough. This is not tough to watch. I've definitely seen much worse than the iRacing officials. You know, that's why we like having leagues like this. And after, you know, iRacing I'm happy to see the rise of majors. I think the Majors 24 is the one big event that has helped the majors, you know, really become gone from like one of the better leagues in iRacing to being the top tier league, you know, in the esports scene here for iRacing. It looks like the 76 is really trying to get out of this top lane. Might be also thinking about fuel. We saw Jake in the 08 just scoot down to the bottom line here, about 6th or 7th in line, you know, side by side with the 76 here. This is really interesting of just this constant, you know, constant battle of no, you go in front, no, you go in front, because at the end of the day, you don't want to be caught up on the, you know, you don't want to be the first one pitting here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely one of those...
It looks like here that there's some questions being answered in the YouTube chat here. We got Nova Dude bringing up the bronze, silver, and pro. Bronze and silver are sportsmen. Can you give a little more information on the sportsman side? And you know what that means? Is it more like just folks that don't do a lot of racing, might just be doing this more for fun?
Yeah, so your sportsman drivers are your brand new drivers to the major series. So they're like the bottom, they're like the ARCA series, okay? That's the best way to put it. They're the up and coming drivers. And as you perform better, as we got to turn on the front straightaway.
A huge incident. The 76 could not find his way down to the bottom of the track. He was trying to get down like Jake did, and it looks like it has caused quite the cluster here. Oh man, that's not what you wanted to see unless you are. Did the 08 stay clean? We've been following that story of him staying out and how it's going to affect him. It looks like he might be okay. The 08 has stayed clean, and he's going to be able to take advantage of staying out and getting ahead of a lot of these cars. He is up in the chat though, so we might, if anybody heard that, might be hearing what happened with race control here. Pace car is exiting pit road, getting ready to collect the field. And let's see a replay of what happened here with the 2.7. Oh man, the 2.7 again here, huh? Slowed down on the left. It looks like this is already after the incident has even happened.
And why is it not registering? Here we go. All right.
Let's see here. It looks like, oh, the, what is that? What, well, I don't know what that triple number, but the 76 just got absolutely turned here. Now, did he drop down a lane, or did he get just absolutely taken out? It looks like Matt Chalker is going to have a problem. Now, the damage doesn't look too bad. Maybe some suspension damage on the left rear. He seems to be the only one that took like a brunt of the contact, minus some of the, what is it, the MFR cars here?
Yeah, so Matt Chalker here,
man,
does look like he tried to come down.
You're right, Mike. He does. He just wants to get in line, and he just, I don't know, his spotter, if he was up for a raise, it's probably not happening anymore. He is just not clear. That's almost a tire clear. That is not what you want to be doing on a track like this. This early in the race. You're causing problems for the 685 and anybody else that might have flexed. Oh, I didn't even realize we had two cars going to the outside wall here with the 31 and the I don't know who that is driving down.
Yeah,
but
I'm not sure
there is a lot more carnage than originally seen. The 2.7, man, that's got to be almost 10 cars involved in this here. Cameron's in trouble, and even more contact here. I assume just a little bit. It could have been much worse. Man, we'll have to see who's able to stay on the lead lap. Now, our lucky dog, if he stayed out of it, is going to be Ray Partridge. He is staying out, so he looks like he has stayed out of the incident. And if all goes well, he will be the lucky dog, and we will have Rob and Ray back on the lead lap. 76 is getting an end of the line penalty for cause of caution and the safety car. We'll see that a lot here in the in majors where they're making sure to punish the big offenders if it's a really obvious one, and we can respect that, Garen, in race control for a very quick trigger on the penalty there. Make sure everybody can figure it out. And it looks like we got Matt in the chat here. Yes, it is. We are seeing that it was the 76 car that just came down from the high side and cut the nose off. One of those cars down there. No chaos on pit road. Everybody seemed to get out cleanly. A little bit of clipping from folks exiting the pit box at the same time, but we'll forgive those. No harm, no foul on those.
Matt Town in the 340 was your lucky dog this time by.
Oh, Matt Town. Okay. You know what? That makes me think. I wonder if Ray was part of the incident. If he did not get the lucky dog.
Well, there's one way to go find out. Let's go find out.
He's currently second in line behind the pace car.
Yeah. So we're looking
with
for
Kevin.
Ray Partridge. And let's go back.
Interesting.
Let's ride on board.
If he gets a contact here, oh my God, I think he's the guy that got tagged in the corner.
Yeah.
Because he got tagged in the corner, he got a contact from iRacing. And iRacing's policy with their contacts is if you get a contact and you're up for the lucky dog, it skips you. You're no longer the lucky dog if you're considered involved. Now, do I think that's fair looking at this? It looks to me like the 8 car has nothing to do with this incident. But the fact that he comes down here and assuming he gets tagged either from behind or in the corner here by the 76.
No, it was not the 76 that got him.
Is it another car coming down, Mike?
I believe it was.
Not the 31. You know what?
27.
Oh, yep. We found him. Here he comes from the outside, just clipping the corner, and that contact registering, inside the game, inside the sim here, that little tiny contact on his way by in the rear quarter panel
right here,
just
guys.
Caused
there.
That cost Ray Partridge the lucky dog and a chance to get back on the lead lap here on lap 73.
Yeah, definitely something that's frustrating for sure.
It's all about the little things here, and Ray put himself in position. He was the first car lap down. He had the best shot to not be in trouble there, but it, didn't work out here. It looks like our caution has been extended by 1 lap. Now it's 2 laps to green. Genuinely curious what happened. Might have just been shuffling through the field here. It looks like we got quite a mess on the back end.
Yeah, definitely. And, that was some, again, really great racing leading up to this. But while we're under discussion, let me go ahead and finish answering that question. What is the Sportsman? Again, the Sportsman, again, it's kind of like the ARCA series of majors. So, except it's actual, like, you put everybody out on the track. They're your lowest drivers. They're the new drivers to majors. So, you go from Sportsman up to bronze, and then obviously from bronze to silver. No. Yeah, silver. and then silver up to pro, which is gold. But they actually call it pro. So there's tiers in this whole entire organization, which is majors, and it's a good stepping stone. It gives everybody out on track, comfort knowing, okay, well, this guy is a newer guy. We just got to watch him, make sure he's doing what he's doing. If not, let's try to help him. But then when you get up into, like, with the gold guys, it's like, all right, well, he's good. He doesn't cause too much issues. We can race him hard without worrying.
Yeah, I mean, in modern day NASCAR, I don't know if they're still doing it in 2026, to be honest, but growing up, there was always the rookie yellow bumper. You would know coming up behind somebody if it's their first year in NASCAR, and especially coming down to the Daytona 500 every year. If you see that yellow bumper, you know there's going to be a problem if you start hitting them. Now, we are seeming to having some blinking here.
What in the world?
It does not seem to be the server. Looks like we're reloaded. Might have just been some CPU overload here. Our caution has been extended by another lap. The pace car lights are on. I don't know if race control can pop in here and give some information on what's going on here. The 76's black flags have been cleared. I don't know if you're able to catch that chat audio there as well, Mike. I don't think I have it feeding into my headphones, but I'm going to flip it. Not sure here with... Yeah, they're talking about something. It looks like we're shuffling the deck again here. I'm not sure if... The 76 is asking for something. Let's listen in. Yeah, absolutely no worries. I'm listening to Garen. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can even get Garen to hop into the broadcast chat and give some information on what happened there. See here. Tag him. We'll see if we can get Garen from Race Control to pop in. Yeah, I'm listening to Race Control here, and Ray is actually complaining about the fact that he did not get the lucky dog due to the iRacing contact. That's what we're doing. We're trying to figure that out. This is crazy. I mean, if I'm Ray, I'm upset too. Don't get me wrong. I'm mad. All good. Yep. We are going green. Looks like Ray is not going to be getting that lap back. And, we'll see if we hear from Garen here soon in Discord. Mike, I'm going to start off this green flag. Will you try to see if we can get Garen in to give some more information on what happened? It looks like Kevin has taken off out of a cannon. Now, this is always interesting here. You might... sit here and think, oh, it's great, he got a good start, but you'll see this bottom line is going to have a huge steam here, and might even, pop outside and shuffle him back. We'll see. Looks like the number 3 car the 51 is more interested in just tucking in behind and saving that gas for the long run here. We didn't see a ton of late takers here, so everybody's pretty much locked in, thinking we might have a few more yellows here throughout the end, it seems like. Phil Otto here is, coming up behind the 3 car on the outside, trying to get that outside line going again. He's wasted no time trying to shuffle up for position here on lap 77.
Yeah, definitely working lap number 77 now, and everybody's still actually pretty close side by side here as they drove up into turn number 1 this time by. So I don't think that the racing is going to get less intense. I think at this point, I think it's just going to be building up from here, and I think we're going to have a very interesting final 100 laps here once we get down there.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you can just see the energy slowly changing here as we go along. It's not, for the faint of heart to be sitting here at Daytona around the halfway point. You're making your friends, but you're also making enemies as we go through here, and we've heard enough of that in the chat already. We're seeing there's the in-car here of Wayne to give us an idea, or Dean, whoever. We'll just see an in-car. Doesn't matter. The point is seeing what you're looking at in the pack here. So when you see these wrecks ahead, you might say, how did they not avoid this? They're sitting here, you should be able to see what's going on, but when you're inside the car, do we even have a cockpit view here by any chance, Mike? Like right inside the driver's eye. This is close enough. All you see is the rear bumper of that car in front. You cannot see anything in front of that 46 car when you're driving here. It's hopeless if somebody's wrecking in front of him. You might see a puff of smoke. You see this 37 car moving down. You got to think in your head, is this line going to drop back? Do I have to start lifting early? Or is this something where I'm going to have to tuck in? Robert Northway, our former leader, is working his way back up the pack very slowly. He's not sitting here trying to make any risky moves. He's trying to stay on the bottom end, make sure he's not putting himself in harm's way, and, hoping he can get some of his buddies here to help him out. Now we have a fight for the second row up front. It looks like, Philip Otto here is, the new pusher on the outside, and the new, best friend to have behind you. As we have, it looks like Dan going out to the lead for a big jump in the 3 car with the 310, and then the 310 dives down low to the bottom side, and I guess Phil wants to take the lead now. He's all done pushing for the time being.
Yeah, but making that move, that just put that Polis team all together on that outside row, 3 cars deep. Then you have 1 car in between. Then you've got 2 Kingsman drivers behind him. So I'm not sure how smart that was, but it looks like that outside lane, those 3 drivers are going to be working together here looking for the race lead.
Absolutely. You see the 3 team cars working together, like you're saying. It is paramount to get your team together, and I would be surprised if any of these guys start dropping down and at least don't let their teammates start filtering in. While we're watching this action on track, we brought Garen of Race Control in the chat here to talk about what happened there with Ray and the lucky dog situation and our extended caution.
Yeah, hi, how do it? Plenty going on with that. It was great to see a good green flag run to start the race. A couple of yellows now. And the last one had a little bit of everything from the race control perspective.
Yeah, that one looked very fun. I was trying to keep up and tap into the race control chat as much as I can. It can't be fun here when you got a bunch of heated drivers in the middle of their race feeling like they might have gotten screwed over. But we talked about it on stream. But if you want to talk about what your explanation was to Ray here with the the slight contact with the lucky dog, it looks like that's what actually caused him to lose out on the chance. And am I seeing an accident behind here? I'm hearing some squeals of tires, and I see a yellow flag.
Speaking of Ray, he's in it, and plenty of others. So anyway, I'll let you guys call this safety car. I'll come back after this one, and we'll have a chat about the couple of safety
Absolutely.
cars. Okay?
We'll have some time after pit stops. Absolutely. Well, yeah, we're going to slow up here for the yellow flag. Looks like Karen's got to go do some race control stuff and see whose fault this one was. Absolutely. And absolutely, we're going to actually even hit a quick commercial break here. We're going to, before these pit stops start and they all start catching the safety car, Mike's going to take us on a quick, view from our sponsors and friends. There we go. All right, we are back from our break, still under safety car after pit stops have happened. No major dramas on pit road, thank God. After the last, a couple dozen laps here being an absolute disaster. Well, we're waiting here. It looks like we aren't going to get footage of the incident necessarily. That is something that has been lost in time. But from what I'm seeing is Ray Partridge was in it. But everyone else that was in this incident has come in for repairs and is mostly ready to get rolling here. What we're seeing is some questions in the chat while we're waiting for the restart. MEC not happening anymore. You want to lay any information down on that before we get started, Mike, real quick? All right. Well, trying to figure it out on our end too. But it looks like we just got some overall excitement in the chat for the endurance and road racing stuff out of majors coming up here soon. We are coming through turn 3 and a exit of 4 here. The pace car is starting to get ready to peel off, and we're almost into our Geico restart zone here. We got a group of cars up front that we haven't seen yet. We got Robbie Bradbury and Kevin Garcia ready to lead this pack to green. As they take off, what we're looking at is a bit of a domino effect here on the outside with a lot of bumper-to-bumper action. Man, I'm going to be curious to see what happens. And we got an incident here right back in the tri-oval, probably going to take us right back to yellow. We are still green for the time being. All of the cars are straightened out. Gonna see what happens here. They have cleared the black flags from the restart due to the chaos, it seems. And they are going to let the leaders race, but this is really going to shake things up. We're going to have a pack of 10, 15 cars up front here once it sorts out, and the rest of this pack is going to have a lot of trouble during this run, having any luck to get this damage repaired. And, it's a big miss from that lead group here. Now we're looking, Robbie and Kevin here up front and leading the pack. Looks like the 15 here of Kevin Garcia on the outside. They are gonna hopefully, sit here and keep this train going. If they stay 2x2, some of these cars that are straight line behind them are going to be able to line up, and catch the main pack here. It's actually wild to think about how crazy it's getting right now. It's only lap 86. We aren't even halfway through this race, and we have knocked a lot of cars out in that restart incident here. I mean, you got to think these guys got to show up being ready to line up and, find their gaps early on. You can't be sitting here, jockeying for position on the restart on lap 85.
Yeah, definitely. As we just had this caution come out that I believe took out just about a good 10 to 15 drivers. So they're still trying to get their repairs done here. And I mean, right now in this front pack, we've got just about 15 cars here in the front pack.
Yeah, I mean, this pack of 15 cars, if they can get in line, might be boring, but it'll be safe for them. As they start to filter back, it looks like the outside line isn't putting a lot of effort in here. It looks like Kevin is just kind of trying to find a spot to sneak in. And, of course, the commentator's curse, as soon as I say that, they are going to start pushing a little harder here, to try to catch back up to the front. It looks like Kevin can't decide if he's trying to get a push here or he's trying to just kind of tuck in somewhere and start saving gas. But at the end of the day, their goal here should be to, get a spot where they feel like they can, go for a long run here. There's not a lot going on behind this pack, to tell you the truth. There is a pack of cars trying to sort themselves out in a straight line. If you want to go back to the pack behind this main group here, they are just now, slotting in on the bottom here. Their entire goal with this, what am I seeing, 3-4 second gap, should be to go nose to nose, just try as hard as they can to catch this main pack, so that if this does become a long green flag run, they're not giving up a bunch of time. As long as that front pack is sliding that wake of air off each other's bumpers and rear wings, they're going to have, you know, more and more time to catch up here. It looks like they've already gotten the gap under 2 seconds here, or under 3 seconds, I guess.
Yeah, the more these guys run nose to tail, and they can quickly make ground on the race leaders as they are running pretty much side by side up front. So these guys are definitely trying to make something happen here to try to catch that front pack once again.
Yeah, if you want to become public enemy number 1 in this backpack, you can do what the 607 there on the back is doing. It's just taking away from the numbers game here. As we move back up to the front of the pack here, we're getting some good 2x2 racing. What you're seeing here is Jonathan is on the bottom line here, helping push things along and you know, trying to save as much gas as he can while he's up there. We also have Rob Bradbury still leading the pack here, and you know, we're gonna see if he's gonna try to stay up there, or he might let the 37 or 34 drop back down. We look to have Garen from Race Control back, and we've had some requests to turn Garen up a little bit too as he gets talking here. But talk us through the last, you know, caution or two here. You know, from a Race Control perspective, it seemed pretty hectic. Saw a lot of black flags cleared in sim.
Yeah, sorry about having to run off there when I started talking last time. Yeah, so that
got a more important job than us, Garen. Let's be honest.
Well, I don't know, but anyway, look, a couple of yellows ago, yeah, where there was the question around the lucky dog. The iRacing system, as far as I know, if there's any X's or contact that is assigned or noted for a driver, the iRacing system then makes them ineligible for the lucky dog, which I think is what's happened there, where there might have been a bit of a net code 0x against the car that probably should have been given the lucky dog otherwise. But yeah, so that's why the system didn't give it to them then. So that's why the 8 car was asking about that. We also had a couple of black flags under that one that we had to clear because there were some slow cars that didn't quite get up to their place in the queue before the pit opened, and then cars pitted, and so then iRacing sees that as those cars having passed under the yellow flag, when really it was a damaged car that was too slow to get back to where they should have been. So so those are some of the things that went on then. And I think there was also on the restart for after that one, there were one of the incidents, they're all starting to blend together now. Somebody was trying to avoid the incident, and they spun across the grass into the pit lane, and so they were given an unsafe pit entry, which seems a little unfair because obviously it wasn't an actual pit entry. But yeah, so those are some of the things that we've had to deal with here in the last little while. We also had one where, and this is an interesting one, the car that caused the yellow, where we have the rule in the majors where if you cause a safety car, or a full course caution, as they say in the US, you are given an end-of-line penalty as the cause of the yellow. And when I issued that end-of-line penalty to the car that caused it, for some reason, iRacing told them to go ahead and pass the safety car, which then put them a lap ahead of everybody, rather than at the back of the queue. So, yeah, I'm not quite sure what the iRacing system was doing with that, but that's why we had to extend that caution. Yeah, we had to extend the caution and have the 76 car deliberately come through the pit lane and then wait for everybody to catch up to give the lap back that they got artificially. And so, yeah, anyway, yeah, the fun and the joys of the iRacing penalty system and dealing with it. But hey, that's why we have live admins in the major series to try and smooth some of that stuff out and give everybody a better experience and a little less frustration for things that yeah, shouldn't be handed out to them by the official system as far as penalties is concerned. So, yeah, it's all happening.
Yeah, I mean, hey, there's something to be said about the official iRacing races and how awesome it is that we get these big special events in the series. But when it comes to live stewarding, it's just not something that iRacing has the current capacity to be running, especially outside of like top split races that are broadcasted. That's why anybody in the you don't have to be, a 4,000, 5,000 iRating driver to be able to hop into majors. You can hop in here and, we got some guys in here that have been racing leagues and don't spend a lot of time in officials, and they are the kind of people that want to have that kind of live stewarding and, broadcast like this in one of the three regions between America, Europe, and international. you're not going to get any live stewarding in official, iRacing races, and things like what just happened could be a complete race ruiner if Garen's not out there to clear black flags.
Yeah, and also, bringing safety cars into road racing and multi-class racing, which obviously the official system isn't advanced enough at this point to be able to deal with, the multi-class aspect of safety cars or that sort of stuff. So, we do that in both the major series and in the Majors Endurance Championship, MEC, which is our team championship. So, yeah, these are the, over-the-top services or on-the-top services that we provide in the major series, which we hope makes us stand out from not just the officials but other leagues as well. So yeah.
Garen, I mean, while you're here and while we're having a procession for a while, and not talking too much.
You've done it now.
If it's every time. I know. My bad. It's something bad's gonna happen now with the two cars that are next to each other. But for hopefully at least another 30 seconds so you can explain a little bit more. Avid iRacer, won my Daytona 500 Daytona 24 split this last couple of weeks with Olympus Autosport, and we have a little bit of a domino effect here going in the middle of the line. Looks like somebody got shuffled out, but everybody survived. I won my Daytona 24 split second time, 2024, 2026. Real fun. Loved it, but at the end of the day, it was an iRacing official race in road racing with no safety car. That can just be without any weather. It's just a sprint to the finish. It's who can get the most laps in 24 hours, essentially. When I've done, I think 4 editions now of the Majors 24 for Le Mans, especially with the specific licensing issues, having one of those years being one of the safety car splits. How can you speak to how, one, awesome it is to have safety cars on the roadside to mix up the strategy, and 2, when you're done with that, how cool it is and how big the Majors 24 ended up being for the entire Major series?
Yeah, so I'll answer those in reverse. I mean, the Majors 24 every year, it's kind of become the unofficial event on iRacing.
Absolutely.
I know that, yes, by being a privately run event, we do kind of, have some flexibility around, running an endurance race at Le Mans that iRacing can't do because of licensing issues. And obviously there is, a great demand among the sim racing community and the iRacing community to have that event.
Absolutely.
But, I mean, to constantly be having double-figured splits, I think it was 700 cars and 680 cars or something for the last 2 years across 11 and 12 splits, respectively. It's 2,500 drivers being involved. It's a fantastic event to be able to run every year. Everybody keeps wanting to come back. Obviously for the first time in the many years of running it last year, we had rain included in it as well, which some people liked, some people didn't. But hey, I won my split, so I was pretty happy with it too. It's an awesome event. It's an amazing event. And obviously something that the Majors Endurance Championship, which we have now running through the year, is kind of hung off the back of, in that it's sort of like, it's the series which provides Majors 24 style running throughout the year. In terms of having the safety car in the Majors 24 and also in the Majors Endurance Championship, as we go yellow. I'll finish my point first, though. Providing that means that, like you said, it's not just a sprint from beginning to end like it is in the officials. There's opportunities to employ strategy, to get laps back, to work your way back into a race when you've had a little bit of adversity or that sort of stuff. So, it just provides an extra level of enjoyment and sort of not intrigue, but strategy it just gives that little bit extra on top of everything that you don't get from the officials. So anybody that hasn't checked out Majors Endurance Championship, you definitely should do it. We've already had the first round for the year of 6 rounds, but there is a drop round, so you could still get involved and be part of the championship fight for that.
Absolutely,
check it out.
No, that's awesome. And that's my cup of tea here as we're looking for Mike, as you queue up what happened with the incident. I'm still trying to figure that out. And Garen, we'll let you go to go handle race control stuff, because you probably have something important to do right now.
Yeah. All right. Enjoy, guys. Bye.
For sure. I haven't uncovered the incident. I don't actually see what happened. I don't know. Somebody's dropping oil on the track. What happened here? I see no incidents. On international. So like whatever time zone makes sense, for you and works for you is really where you should be here. We try to keep it focused regionally as best as possible, but this is very much a, and anyone that is willing to race clean and, try their best is really who's invited to this kind of thing. The small fees help support, having somewhat of a broadcast here. Getting everybody involved as needed. Now we're looking at some yellow flag pit stops. I would be surprised if anyone stays out here with how long we've been going green since the last big round of pit stops. It looks like every single car is coming down that's on the lead lap here is able to pit. So we're going to see where this takes us with Hayden Kirk actually leading us down pit road. I don't think I have said that name yet today. And we are hoping that no one's gonna catch damage on this end of pit road. I see nothing yet that's causing me to worry. And Hayden back out front on the pit exit here, and genuinely curious if he's gonna hold on to the first position or if we're gonna have some sort of shuffle up front here with who stayed out. But I'm seeing that Hayden's going to hold the lead and everybody else is a lap back. Now, do we have a lucky dog this time around? I'm seeing Ray has his throttle pinned. That makes me think that maybe he is the one that is going to be, pulling up the pulling up on the lucky dog here. He is now pitting. And if I'm correct, he will be and he's going to be the lucky dog, so he's finally getting his wish, where he's going to be able to make a quick pit stop here and get out in front and tag on at the tail end. So we might have not seen the last of Ray Partridge today. Yeah, and we're looking here at who caused the incident. It's probably going to be the car 36. I'm seeing an end of line penalty for car number 36. That is going to be, as I scroll through a line of numbers, Paul McKenzie is going to be the one that is responsible for this incident. Maybe we can even sneak back here and see the replay. And there we go. The 76 is back again. But I feel like we may have missed the reasoning for how the 76 got turned here, because if Paul is getting the penalty, I'm thinking Paul might have had a part in this. And here we go. We're going old school with the replay. I like it. Paul is down on the inside here, and it looks like he may have made contact in the checkup, and while trying to make room for that car that was below the yellow line, ended up taking out the car. He pulled up trying to make room for the car below the yellow line. But here's the thing. At Daytona, if you go below the yellow line, it is your responsibility to get back up to the outside. It is not the car that is actually out there to make that room for you. If you're below the yellow line, you do not move into another car because there's a car below you. You have to let them figure it out themselves, because that's what happens when you move up. And even though there was a car below, and I'm sure that Paul had all the best intentions to let that car back up, it's at the end of the day what caused this incident. So we're lining up. I can't tell. Are those lights on the pace car here, Mike? Can you tell?
The lights are off on the pace car. We're going to go green this next time by as these drivers are lining up here for this next restart. And, I mean, we're either getting close or we've already crossed over. Yeah, we're at 98 laps to go, so we've got less than 250 miles left here at Daytona. And as of right now, these guys are absolutely putting on one hell of a show. And I mean, I'm absolutely enjoying it. I don't know about you guys in chat. You know, who you guys looking at? Who you guys rooting for? Let's hear it in chat, you guys. You know, and let's bring this home just as big of a banger as it was here at the start of this race.
Absolutely, and I am genuinely curious here. Ray Patridge is on the lead lap. He led a lot of the beginning of this race. He was a big piece of this race, but now we're going to turn our attention back to Hayden. Hayden is going to be leading us, to green here. He's got the 2 team cars behind him as well. That are either going to help him out or his two silver drivers in Cam and Rob, or Cam and Matt are going to be his 2 team drivers behind him in the silver livery leaf on the side, with Hayden Kirk leading them. So right now we have 1, 2, 3 for the Kiwis on the inside line. That is going to be huge for them as everyone behind starts to shuffle for position here at the little W car, trying to find a way in. Some slam drafting from our old buddy in the 44. He's not going to stand for that, sticking behind the 35 here of Rob Bradbury. He wants to make sure he gets way out of the way of that mess. He's just not putting the throttle down as far as he wants it to be. Rob Love is going to start trying to lead the outside line, though. I wonder if he's going to try to tuck in here or he's going to try to stay out here. It looks like there's some aggressive left and right blocking here from Rob. So I don't know if there's some bad blood, but like we're talking about from the beginning, Rob Love and Rob, Rob Love and Rob Love. Oh my God, they're both Robert Love and Rob Love. I don't know if they're related, but they are not showing very much love right now. That is some aggressive driving here, just over the halfway mark on lap 105.
Yeah, definitely. As you see them using that side draft up here in these corners to try to propel themselves forward. With just those 3 drivers out front there, up on the top by themselves, they're definitely trying to see what they can do to get that outside line moving. But so far, it's no bueno as they are continuing to fall backwards.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is all a momentum game, whether you're driving Miatas or you're driving these things around Daytona. If you can't keep up with the momentum, you're not going to keep up with the draft here. They have to start focusing on if they're going to take the inside line or not, or if they're going to try to stick out there and, stick it through. You're starting to see, though, the procession is starting to happen on the inside line. We got 1, 2, 3, 8 cars here in a row, 7 cars in a row on the inside line, all by themselves. We are seeing this 30. What is this? The 35 car of Robert Bradbury is not doing an awesome job of holding the inside line. He keeps kind of bouncing up and down. It can't be overheating because he doesn't have it's not too much of a gap there. And, I'm starting to see that the 5 car of Robert Henry is just having a lot of trouble. And man, could we have gotten a race with more Robs and Roberts in it, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've got, let me see, Robbie, Robert, Rob, Robert.
I don't know. 4 is too many for a 32 car field or 37 car field.
Yeah, and 2 of them have the same last name, so just
yeah, it's just not fair. 2 of them got the same last name. They are working together on the outside line with the yellow and red car back there, and they are not having a good time. They are rubbing each other's bumpers just a little bit too much.
Yeah, but Rob Love and Rob Love, they both have some love happening behind them as they've got a good 7 or 8 cars now that has joined them in that outside lane. So the Loves are about to get a little bit of love here on the exit turn 2.
Really a big miss here on the Buc-ee's livery when we could have just been looking at Love's gas station.
Oh, man, yeah.
We're going to have to chat him about that after the race, but they are just dropping like flies. And, at the end of the day, it's probably because they just aren't side drafting and aren't getting enough help, or we might not be seeing some damage somewhere. As the back end shuffles back, we got 3 wide in the back end here. We're all right. We sorted ourselves out. That was almost a big incident on the back end there. If those cars didn't give a little bit, for real though, at Daytona, it is so much give and take. You got to give right now. Now is not the time to be taking. If you're taking now, you're gonna be the one hung out to dry at the very end when we're 4 wide going across the line.
I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. We still got 90 laps to go here in just 2 laps. So, I mean, we still got 92 coming to 91 laps left. I'm still giving at this point. Yeah. As we got trouble in the back.
Is that the 76 again? He is getting the worst end of this race here. He does a full 360 and is still driving. We are under yellow.
We are under
Missed
yellow.
opportunity by race control. Probably iRacing calling the caution on its own, to be totally honest. So we aren't going to leave that one on Garen. But it looks like the 76 is the only one really having issues here in this incident. A little 360, and we're going to keep rolling. But brought up a good point here with it being 90 laps left. So most of these cars under the full green flag run got about 42 laps maximum. We got to start thinking. We do some math. 200 minus 110 is 90. Do we think these cars can do it if it goes green, which we know it won't, but if it does go green and you're planning from here, are you boxing now or are you waiting thinking that you're not going to be able to push at 45 laps?
Ooh.
It's a tough strategy call. I mean, if you're sitting here thinking, all right, if we pit now, we could split this into one more stop. We could have one more stop if we are able to save some gas. If there's one more well-timed safety car, we could make this just 2 stints to the end.
Stoppers, yeah. I mean, it would be very, very close.
It'd be tight.
I'll give my feedback on that, but let's go back here real quick. Take a look, see what happened.
Is he on his own? I mean, I see rear end damage, so he had to have been run over, right?
Yeah, so taking a look here. Yeah.
And also, while you're looking at this, I'm just going to throw it out there. Everyone is boxing, so it looks like there is a sentiment to try to get this done in 2 stops. But yeah, it looks like the 76 has come down on Phil Otto here again, and then just could not hang on to it up high. The 2.7 is spared from being in another incident, or the 2.9 is spared from being in another incident here. And most of the rest of the cars had no involvement here. So I am curious if Phil or the 76 are going to take the responsibility for this incident. I'm going to keep an eye on the race control chat here.
Yeah, definitely. It was very, very close there, especially with the 29 of Adam Johnson here. I'm going to go back here again and just do it this way. And, he sees it all happening up in front of him. He sees he gets turned. And let me tell you what, we're riding on board with him now. And he is absolutely hard on the brakes. And, I mean, you still got about...
Yeah, it does not get closer.
Yeah, you got about a good 3-4 feet right there. But let me tell you what, when you're going full speed... And let me go ahead and show you guys. Let me show you guys what it looks like full speed. And, oh, man, this is how quick it is.
Well, I'm going to step away and let you run this replay before you get up to green. So go ahead and give it all you got here, Mike.
Woo! That was close. But, man, let me tell you what. Wonderful job there by Adam Johnson in that number 29 machine. He's just chilling out here in the back. And, unfortunately, things happen. But really good heads-up driving there. As we take a look here, it looks like Kevin Garcia in that number 15 machine. He is going to be out front when we come back green flag. Let me take a look here. Yeah, so everybody came down pit road. He got 4 tires. Love probably got 2 tires and fuel. And it looks like Rob Love in that number 605 machine, he got 4 tires possibly.
Yeah, I mean, if you are looking to make this a one-stop race here, I mean, you're going to need tires at this point. You aren't going to make the whole race. When you get these tires under 80, 75%, you're losing a lot of grip here at Daytona regardless. Talladega, you can usually get away with it. The corners are a little bit of a wider radius. The tires aren't as important, but you're still turning here at Daytona. Those banks are high, but it's not by any means an easy corner with really bad tire wear.
Yeah, definitely. And, tire wear, as you said, it's just, it plays games with you because you're not sure if you want to come down and take tires, but you're not sure if you want to come down and take tires. It's simple as that.
And
it's like, do I not? What do I do? Crew chief.
exactly, right? Or, at this rate, spotter's the one usually wearing all those hats. You're usually not going to have a full team of crew here. The spotter is going to have a lot to carry, as you're rolling through the race here. Before we go green, I want to make one note. The incident was deemed that neither car was really to blame. So no further action, just a racing incident, which, that'll happen here at Daytona, more times than not.
Yeah, I have to absolutely agree with that one there. It's just one of those, one of those deals, you slide up, and sometimes you don't even mean to slide up, and you're like, all right, well, that guy's going to let me come back down, and, well, guess what? Psych!
Yep, he thinks that's his big opportunity. Now, we are having a new leader here. Kevin Garcia's back, and we got Rob and Rob, next to each other instead of nose to tail here. It looks like this starts a little cleaner. There's not as much of that domino effect towards the back. Everyone is behaving themselves, and Kevin has taken off out of a rocket. Now, let's watch and see. The draft is going to catch Kevin here. Everyone is going to start either lining up or barreling by him, and we got to see if he's going to get split or he's going to try to, or folks are going to try to tuck in behind him. We are now seeing Rob Love in the Little Debbie car here. Catching Kevin with a head of steam, and it looks like, who is that? We got is that Rob Love? 03?
Jason Lockridge.
Lockridge, who was involved in a early incident here, is now trying to make his move for the lead here, trying to get up in front of the 44 car to maybe get a push. For now, looks like he might be tucking into the third spot in the bottom line, which, like I said from the very beginning, is where I want to be for the majority of this race. It is the safest place, in my opinion. You can save as much gas as you want because you're not responsible for pushing that leader, and you can chill out and see what's happening behind you and make sure you're not caught in the big wave like Noah when the Red Sea collapses afterward.
Oh yeah, definitely. You don't want that to happen as you see these drivers continuing to run side by side here as that 51 machine there of Matthew Pluck dropped down in between his two teammates. In front of his teammate. And it looks like that outside line is starting to lose drivers as there's a lot of openings here down on the inside, as we do have, I believe it's been Daughtry in that 313 machine starting to have some radio connectivity issues with his race team.
Yeah, and I'm seeing a lot of movement here. Let's go on to Ray Partridge really quick here. He's asking why over and over again in the main radio chat and clattering up what race control is trying to accomplish here. Ray is upset about something. He has been given the short end here for a lot of this race today. He is struggling through it, but at the end of the day, he's in 24th position on the lead lap within 2 seconds of the leader right now. This is not over for him at all. This is a race that he can absolutely win. I've seen guys go from 30th to 1st on the final lap here at Daytona.
Yeah, I mean, anything is possible around this 2.5 mile super speedway. I mean, back in Talladega week, back in, I believe it was like October or something like that. At Talladega.
Oh, I'm sorry to cut you off your mic. We got Robert Love getting sucked up the sucker hole down the middle in the back end. He has apparently been given up on by the team cars around him. He is getting absolutely freight trained down the middle. He's lost 6, 7, 8, 9 positions here in the last 500 feet. That is never fun. It looks like they do not trust him with the outside line anymore. I don't know if it's damage or the team cars are just trying to get together and start working out that outside line. As you can see, those team cars also drop down in front of their teammates. So maybe this is all just one big positioning play where they're all going to try to set up a run on the outside here going forward.
I mean, that is possible. but
I don't think it's possible, Mike. I think that's exactly what just happened. They decided they don't want Rob in part of their club anymore. He's causing problems on the outside line, and they're trying to get together. And Rob does not look happy about it.
no, I bet.
There he goes. Rob's making a move, and now we're 3 wide. As there's a huge checkup on the bottom end, and that'll happen here when you have a one big line. Is that outside line will pop out of nowhere when the inside line starts checking up, and you'll see that those cars just made 5, 6, 7 positions up just because everyone on the bottom line had to lift there.
That was absolutely insane. Just like in a
And as
matter...
you can see, they're bailing. They're bailing out. All of a sudden, this huge run, they took their 5, 6, 7, 8 positions, and the 2-7, who again has been involved in like 7 incidents here, Cameron Dance, has now dropped down and is now sneaking into the top 20 with his damage fully repaired, making another attack on the outside line, but he just hung himself out to dry. He hung himself out to try again.
Cameron Dance.
This is crazy.
Yeah, Cameron Dance is definitely dancing with these race drivers out here, trying to make his way back to the front as he barely squeezes in between 2 drivers.
This is crazy. Cameron Dance is the MVP of the last 3 laps. I'm sure he's pissing off a lot of guys around him, and I don't know if he has any teammates out here in this race today.
Yeah, I have not a clue, but he dropped down in between teammates of Brad Wiggins and Robert Henry as that outside lane starting to gather some momentum here. But let me tell you what, I don't think I've ever seen anybody dance around Daytona like we just saw here with Cameron Dance.
No,
Pun
not at all. We are heating up, Mike. We are heating up. And if you notice here, we are 2 wide in the second half of the pack. Let's zoom out here, maybe go to blimper chopper view. You notice this front pack has broken away. They've been working together pretty well, and they're now splitting up into 2 wide, but all this action, all this left and right, all this change of lanes, they're starting to lose the draft up front. So this second pack is going to have to figure it out really quick, or they're going to find themselves with a 10, 12-second gap here if this keeps rolling as is. The outside line is lined up with those first 3 cars, so they're not going to have to deal with any of that side draft. So they're already catching that outside line and kind of pulling the bottom line with them. So we're going to get back to another huge pack here, and I wonder how this outside line's momentum is going to catch the front pack.
I mean, I think that right there just kind of showed what we have, and we got 3 wide up here for that 4th spot as they continue to run it 4 wide, and I'm not sure who that is.
Who's caught out? Who's caught out?
Oh, trouble!
He turns. Is that Jake? Is that Jake? Is that Jake Fox? Oh, Jake Fox, man. He has been given the crap end of the stick here. This every incident I've seen, Jake Fox has gotten involved to something that wasn't his fault.
Tough
Man. Is the 2-7 in the incident? I think not. So the 2-7, after all of that, has sorted himself out into the top 15 or 16 here.
All right, let's go back here, take a look. Yeah, he just kind of.
I mean, okay, you know what? I'm curious if we can get one from like the chase cam behind the car that hit Jake. Which car is that? I'm curious if we can get like a chase cam, like something a little more stable here. All right, this is good. This is good. We'll run this. So Jake Fox is here. He's got the momentum in this case. The car on the outside, the 35 of, what is that, Bradbury?
I believe so, yes.
The 35 is hung out to dry, no momentum, is forcing, and you can see the blend line here. The 35, in my opinion, looking at this from, a neutral point of view, the 35 did not have any right to that lane. He got way too close to the 08, maybe trying to side draft to work his way into a gap somewhere. But that doesn't make any sense to me, Mike. I don't see why you're doing that there. I mean, you just got to cut your losses if you're stuck on the outside like that.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely very
And
tough.
everyone in race control chat is all over the 35 right now. Now, this is where you kind of get into an interesting strategy spot here. Most of the cars are pitting, but there are a good handful of cars that have chosen to stay out here because of what I was saying before. they're trying to extend this fuel run to 45 or so laps and hope that they can sneak into the pits and cycle to the front without having to worry about getting into the middle of the class madness here. Let's see, who do we have staying on track? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm counting like 12 cars. I might be wrong that have stayed out.
Yeah, I could tell you here in just 1 second.
Maybe less than 12. Maybe more like 6, 7. Oh man, I'm sorry. Sorry to the Gen Z kids.
Let's see, 6, 7. Wait, what? Yeah. So
got my millennial blood boiling on that one.
7. So your top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so your top 7 stayed out.
Those cars have to be thinking, I'm going to try to get to lap 145. I don't know, 155 is what their goal probably is. So let's follow a couple of them just in the back of our heads. We got Hayden, Ewin, Matt Pluck, Rob Lowe, Paul McKenzie, and Jason Lottridge have all stayed out for the track position. They are, again, trying to probably make it to lap 155 or so to try to be able to make it to the end. You can see here, car third in line, Matt Puck, has been driving around on the apron for this caution. He might even be flicking the ignition on and off. When you're at Daytona, this is a fuel mileage race until the final push.
Yes.
You can see there he goes, right on the apron. And why is he doing that, Mike?
Well, he is saving fuel and making sure that the fuel pickup is getting up all that extra fuel. But I mean, I don't know if it's why he would be doing it though, as you know, he shouldn't have much fuel issues. But I mean, turning off your car, turning it back on, you know, that's normal. But I'm not sure why he's doing it down on the apron this while he does have enough fuel.
Yeah, I think, Mike, we're talking, this is essentially a big circle, right? Yep. If you're on the far left side of this circle, your distance around this track is much shorter than the guy up against the wall right now. So if you're able to come down below that apron and you're trying to save, I don't know, we got mostly international guys, so I'll say like, 0.1 of a liter or a litre or whatever. I'm an American here at 2 a.m. on the East Coast. I'm doing my best to try to keep up with all y'all on the oceanic area, but if you're on the inside of that, that yellow line and you're rolling around under yellow and you're able to save just an extra 0.2, 0.3 liters than everybody else under this yellow flag by turning the car off and rolling around, that might be what gets you to the end of this race. I still can't believe all the action we've had all of a sudden. I thought after the first 40, 50 laps, everyone was going to be on their best behavior, but I was wrong. I know the Aussies and the New Zealanders haven't been involved in a lot of wars lately, but, it wouldn't surprise me if they get involved in one soon. Can I say that on stream? I'm not sure.
Nah, you didn't say that whatsoever.
Yeah, maybe we're flying too close to the sun here. I was told not to keep this political at all, but it is, the Daytona 500 in Florida and America. So we're going to go green here. The pace car lights are off. It's peeling off. We are going to be getting into the Geico restart zone. 3, 2, 1, and it's all on Hayden here to start the race. And he is gone at the very end. You'll hear all those V8 engines roaring. And this is what you need to do. You see Hayden is backed up to the 34 car of E1. Or the 51 here of Matt Puck. You want to start the race as the leader right on the bumper of the car behind you, especially if it's your teammate. We got the Kiwis up in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9th position here, going on the restart. I mean, what are you supposed to do if you're not the Kiwis here? Ray Partridge is the only one here in the top 8 that is not having that leaf, little bay leaf on the side of the car.
Yeah, I mean, I told you these guys, one of these guys with the leaf on the car, one of these guys are going to win here today. And, on this last restart in the top 10, it was all versus that number 8 machine of Ray Partridge.
This is wild stuff, Mike. I mean, like, if they have I'm starting to see maybe the reason that they stayed out is not just the track position, not just the fuel mileage, but to stay with their teammates.
Yeah, I mean, it's very, very possible. We got 75 laps to go this next time by. You know, we're starting to come down to the nitty-gritty here in the Intimidator 500. So, you know, it doesn't surprise me that right now we have a lot of team strategy in play.
Absolutely.
We are starting to close in, like I said, here with 75 laps to go this time by.
Let's do a round out of our top 10 here. If you want to start in the front with Hayden, you get us a quick zoomed in view of all of them. I don't know, whatever you can get from the side here. So we got 371 Hayden. He stayed out here, it looks like, and he has his teammates in first, second, with Matt Pluck here in second place. He also looks like he has stayed out. And all of these Leafs on the side of these Kiwi cars, of the KSR cars. 1, 2, 3, 4. With Ben, 5 with Ewan. What do we got in 6? 6. I mean, is anybody tired of seeing these Leafs yet? 7th with Robert. A lot of these cars have led the race, and Kevin Garcia in 8th place is the first car without a leaf on it in the top 10 that we see. And then Robert Henry with a leaf on the side, and here comes Ray in 10th place, trying to make his presence known again. But, you know, right behind him is another KSR car, so what's he supposed to do? He has no friends. When we get back to Brad, another KSR car. Dean is his next friend, so you know what Dean and Ray's spotter should be doing? They should be standing right next to each other. They should be starting their own Discord. They should be figuring out how are we going to beat these 10 cars on our own. Looks like the front pack is going to probably stay in line in the top 7. I can't see these KSR cars trying to pass each other right now. What do you think, Mike?
Nah, not a chance. You know, if they were to try to do anything, I think that they would try to be kicking Robert Northway. I'm sorry, not Robert Northway. Kevin Garcia back a couple spots to be with Ray Partridge, and then they're going to try to get Brad Wiggins in that 333 into the top 10 as well. So, I mean, at this point, I think that's what their strategy is, but they know, you know, I bet you they're all sitting in a Discord channel right now, and they're like, all right, guys.
Almost guaranteed.
This is what we're doing.
Yeah, almost guaranteed. There's some team orders going on here. This is Formula One all of a sudden. This is Lando. This ain't Papaya rules. Everybody is in one line together, and nobody's here to fight each other right now. We aren't too wide until we get to the 15th car back. Also, update on the responsibility for the last caution. They are saying no responsibility. Majors will, it looks like in NASCAR, from what I've seen, lean on the side of caution if it is not certain who caused the incident. They're not going to be here and punishing somebody and ruining a race for something that might not have even been confirmed. It's not like a lot of leagues where you'll see in some, the driver is the race control. Majors, as far as I've seen in all the events I've been in, Majors race control is a third party for the most part. They are not involved in the race. They see no advantage from giving race control orders. So they are going to lean on being as fair as possible.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. You know, the race control, you know, they get their race control from sim racing stewards. So, you know, they are branched out, and they're brought in for these events, and, you know, these guys look at them and they go, okay, well, I don't know any of these guys, so I can't show favoritism. So that is one.
Is that true, Mike? They bring them all in from a third party?
Pretty much, yeah.
That's crazy. Like, I mean, the hardest part with race control, especially with a lot of the smaller leagues out there, which no shame on the smaller leagues, I actually love that they exist. But with majors, it's like you're getting it as impartial as possible. Yeah. Nobody here is going to be showing favor to anybody.
Yeah, I mean, you do have like, you know, Garen, you know, who is race control tonight. You know, but he don't play, and so he'll call it as he sees it. You
Absolutely.
know, but we also have like Blue Carl. Same with him. You know, he'll call it as he sees it. Sometimes I'll be up there with him as well, you know, making some of these hard decisions, you know, but at the end of the day, I'm going to call it as I see it. And believe it or not, I actually witnessed a car accident today, and I had to tell the cops straight up. I'm like, well, this is what happened. This person ran the stop sign. He was turning, and they met in the middle. You know? So,
Yeah.
I mean, I call it how it is, and, you know, what sim racing stewards are, you know, they're a group of, you know, stewards that come together. You can put up replays and they'll judge and tell you their opinions on it. And you can also put out, you know, for hire posts out there saying, hey, we're looking for a steward. This is how much we're offering. This is when the event is. Come on out, be our race control for us. And, you know, the stewards, they go in and they take on the responsibility of that job and show up, do their job. And, you know, they're biased. They don't, I'm sorry, they're not biased, as they don't
Unbiased,
have, they don't have, you know, what's the word I'm looking for here? A favoritism to any of the drivers.
Right. They have no reason to.
I mean, even if I were to, you know, start up a league and I know everybody, okay?
Sure,
I'm
sure.
still going, for me personally, I'm going to call it down the line. Hey, you know, you screwed up here. This was your fault. You know, because
exactly.
I'm just a butthead like that, and I'll tell people how it is. You know, so you could be my brother-in-law. Guess what? I'm going to throw you under the bus if I have to, but I mean, hey, you screwed up.
Hey, we got a call from the chat here from S. Bowen. He wants some information on Dan Stevens, our pole sitter, where he is on track. Let's get the 3-car on screen here. He's, you know, caught in a little bit of a side-by-side action. Let's get some zoomed-in views of the 3-car. Let's see if there's any damage on that automobile.
The 3-car. There he is right here.
Get us some close views here, Mike. Zoom that camera lens in.
You absolutely.
I'm seeing no damage, really. It looks like Dan might just be kind of hanging out. He's got his team car there behind him in the likes of Gavin Barber. They're, you know, in the draft, and if you're in the draft, you got a chance. Now, let's get a blimp view. I'm looking at the blimp view on my screen here, Mike. Let's just zoom out right from Dan's point of view here. Get us the biggest blimp view you can get. Zoom out as needed. What you're seeing is, for the most part, besides those 4 cars on the outside, everyone, 5 cars now, sorry, as soon as I speak, they start moving around, are in a straight line. A lot of these cars are trying to get this, stretch this fuel run out as much as possible, because once we get to lap 155, 157, you're looking like you're clear to the end, unless there is the dreaded green-white checker. Now, what we're seeing on the outside line here, if we get into, I don't know, who we talking, like the 29 car. Let's get a zoom in on the 29 car. We can see this little battle on the outside and what's trying to happen. The 29 car is probably 10 spaces up or 5 spaces up from Dan.
Okay.
What we're looking here is, if we zoom out, we can see that this outside line, again, our favorite, number 44, is back in the outside line trying to make something happen. Everybody else wants to wait in line, and this is getting a little bit hairy on the inside. The 27 is going to cause some problems like normal, but we're used to it. We're 3 wide with the 76 and the 27 and the 44 all in the same place. And I don't know, Mike, I've been watching this race for the entire night, and those 3 cars seem to be the center of a lot of the issues going on tonight, even if it's not their fault.
Yeah, unfortunately, you know, sometimes that's just how it rolls here at these restrictor plate races. You know, you don't mean to be in the center of it. You don't want to be in the center of it. But, I mean, sometimes that trouble, it just finds you. And unfortunately, you know, Cameron Dance in the 27, he's been in a lot of fun dances tonight, let me tell you.
And I don't think a single one of them was deemed his fault, like by race control. No bias here. I don't know any of these guys, to be totally honest. This is the international split. I'm just here having fun in the middle of the night, having a couple glasses. Now, the 27 car, if we zoom in on him and just grab his in-car, let's take a look at what he's seeing, and you're already on him. Awesome. Pull into his in-car. Let's see the driver's eye here and just see what he has to sit here and deal with up and down the throttle from inside the car.
Oh, wrong
What he's seeing is just a single, whoa, and of course we picked the perfect time to see him taking the move. Let's ride along with the 27, see what he's able to do here. He does have the 29, I don't know who's behind him. I'll look here on my end. The 27 is in front of the, he's just going up and down, trying to grab a little bit extra draft to try to make something happen. But at the end of the day, if you do the rear cam and rear chase, he's just moving right back into the line. He does not think the outside line has enough steam behind him. He was going to try to get the 29's push from Adam Johnson, but Adam just was not able to get up to the bumper. Those two cars do not have enough. I mean, when you're talking, you know, we make the jokes about horsepower, but when you line up all this horsepower and if they actually do get bumper to bumper, you're going to have a weird combination of what do you call it, horses here. Now let's zoom out here. We got some action going up front here. The in the middle of the pack, in the about 15-20 area, we're getting a huge accordion effect. So what's happening is a lot of these cars are lifting, saving fuel. This lap car didn't quite go up high, and we got cars in the infield, car cutting through pit road. That looks like the 35 or the 310 of Phil Otto has just cut through pit road. I would be very surprised if he doesn't get an iRacing automated penalty. That's a black flag, and that probably will get cleared by Garrett here in race control. Yep, he's asking for a black clear right now in the game chat. He just got pushed down by the little Debbie car. That was not his fault at all, and he's already gotten his black flag cleared. Now, that is no fun for him, though, because he's going to be way back trying to catch the draft here for the next few laps here, and I don't know if he's going to be able to do it. He has dropped off the pack. He is down in 20 or 33rd now, as I'm seeing, and he is going to need a yellow. He's going to be sitting here full throttle, using up all the gas. Wow, what a save though by Phil. Like no shame on Phil at all. That is a tough one to handle. All right, let's get up mid pack again. It looks like we have some action going on up there in the middle. You know, we're still processional, but we have this little conglomerate, and it looks like the 27 Cameron Dance has been clawing back this entire race. He has been one of my favorite stories here out of New Zealand. And I don't know if he has any teammates in this race, but he is not trying to make friends. He's going to have the accordion and watch him pop out. I almost guarantee he's going to try and pop out, and it's the car behind him of Rob Love that pops out to try to take the outside, but here comes Cameron into the pits. I wonder what this is for. Is he out of gas? What is happening with Cameron? Why is he hitting alone right now?
Yeah, I don't know. That's very...
Is this a drive-through? What is this?
Yes, he has a penalty for something. Maybe we...
let's get Garen back in the chat.
Yeah, let's get Garen here and see if we can figure out what happened.
Man, my favorite story in this race just got a drive-through. What are we doing? No, I'm kidding. Okay, it looks like little Debbie car. What is that? The 604. I keep getting these numbers mixed up. I'm too dyslexic for this job sometimes. But if I'm seeing the 605 car, 605, I was really dang close with these triple digits. The 605 of Rob Love is trying to make this happen. Now, Garen is saying that the drive-through wasn't from him. He's currently chatting in the broadcast chat right now. He's like, had to be incident points. So I'm wondering if the 27 may have had some impact. And we can catch back up to the pack here. Let's get to the 605. I'm wondering if the 27 gets some drafts, so that might be okay for him to stay on the lead lap and maybe get lucky with a yellow. He's only 26 seconds off of the lead here. Now, what I'm thinking happened, and this is just my guess, is that he had some contact with the 301 car. He probably had, like, whatever the incident point list is here. I can check the rules. In sim, I'm seeing incident points is 16 and then every 8. So that means 16 incident points. So like an off track in the grass is a 1 times. If you push someone else into the grass and they get a 1 times, you're also getting a 1 times. Yep. So you are responsible for what anybody else does for those not, super familiar with iRacing. As we're getting some colorful Australian language here in the chat, in the race chat itself. Anyhow, but if you knock someone off track, you're also responsible for that incident point. iRacing has a no fault policy when it comes to incident points. So he looks like he was somewhat involved with pushing Phil Otto off track, which caused him to have an incident point drive-through penalty here. Very interesting, case. Mike, what I see you're on the 333. I was looking around. What happened here?
Yeah, just there was a really major stack up going down the back straightaway, and he ducked out, and he couldn't get back up on the track, so he unfortunately had to slow down, and he fell all the way back to that 31st spot and lost the draft. So he's going to be another driver that's going to be looking for a yellow here in the closing laps.
Absolutely. Oh, man. We are getting some action up front. I'm going to get to the YouTube chat here in a moment, but we have a new race leader in Craig R. Tilson in the 22 car. I have not said that name yet today, so that must be new to me. So we are seeing, it looks like, him dropping down in front of all the Kiwis, in front of all the Bayleaf cars, actually. Oh, I'm sorry. I have been corrected. Iwa, I have been corrected a bunch in this stream, so thank you to all of you non-Americans helping me out here. Ewan is pronounced you win, so you win. And also the Bayleaf is actually a fern, which is an endemic plant to New Zealand, and we have trouble up front. This is how it goes. Oh my God, I can't even tell you how many folks are involved in this accident right now. We have half the field. We have half of our winners. We have
a lot of linkage going on.
Man, it's freaking out. All the smoke. Incident will be reviewed as Garen's call on track. Of course it will be. We might have an extended caution just to get through this.
Unfortunately, it was such a big wreck. My computer was, no, I'm not even going to try to keep up with what just happened. So,
absolutely.
Unfortunately, I don't.
Here.
Oh, man. But we saw it begin before it did start to blink out on us. Just one car thought he was self-cleared, it looked like, and it just all mayhem lets loose.
Let me see what I'm looking at here too. I have my own instance here of what happened. If you
hang on,
looks like it happened from the third car back, on the outside line in turn 3 and 4. So the 29 got into the 605 and maybe just bump drafted him in the rear corner panel, as Mike is working out, if we're able to see this or not. But that seems to have caused the entire issue and taken out about 7 and 8 of those ferns here. Oh man, this is a lot of damage. I mean, this is carnage. It's going to be a battle of who can get out of the pits. Now we are at lap 146 here, which is really interesting because I don't think anyone's going to make it 55 laps on gas. Do you, Mike?
No. Everybody's definitely going to have to come back down. Right now, guys, I am going through trying to...
yeah, we're trying to get a replay of this mayhem.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get a good one here.
Hey, you know what? If you want, if you feel comfortable here, Mike, I will, while the pit stops are happening, everybody's getting these repairs, let me rewind it here, and I can maybe grab it over Discord and show you the big one today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, let me swap Discord over. You're gonna lose my voice for a second, but I'll stream it into the broadcast chat here really quick.
Yeah, this is just absolutely going crazy on me right now. What in the world? All right, go ahead and start streaming it, and I will. Let's come here. Let's go to. Window capture. Give me just a moment here, guys. We're going to get this thing up and running here. Alright, so let me pop this out real quick. Hang on. Because when I do this, now I can select a window. It's not going to let me pick a window.
All right, Mike, you are going to lose me on audio, but if you want to switch over to my stream right now, I'm going to get it to play off of the Discord stream.
Yep, I am actually trying to get that brought up right now.
All right, I'll wait to click it until you give me the okay. I have not shared it yet, but I'll pause about 10 seconds once I share it on the screen.
Yep, go ahead and share it, and I'm going to take care of it on this end. Alrighty. And it's not looking good. Oh, give me 1 second, 1 second.
Were you able to catch that on the stream there?
It
looks like, yeah, it looks like we were able to get it. It was a little Debbie car up front that got turned. Essentially just lost control of what was going on and caused the big issue here. I have closed it out. I'll be back on the mic here, waiting for you to reshare it. But yeah, absolute, absolute cluster there, man. This is not what you want to see at this time, but as a fan, kind of what I want to see. We're here for the chaos, right, Mike?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're definitely here for the chaos, and so something I was also thinking, this is, I believe, a international server as well. So with us being here in the States, I think that might be contributing to a little bit of my issue that I'm seeing.
Yeah.
So
Fair enough.
So I do apologize about that, but I mean that actually worked out very well. So I mean, if I flash you flash like that again in another incident, we'll just do what we just did, and we're getting ready to go back green flag racing.
Yeah, pulling that out of the pocket felt pretty good there, Mike, actually. So here we go. We're going green here. We have a new return leader of Hayden Kirk, and we have Craig R. Tilson here on the outside line. I'm curious to see if Craig's going to try to pull in behind. As we have the 76, probably, I don't know how he hasn't had a drive-through for incident points yet. He's been in everything. Maybe he has, I don't know. But he is going to be in second place on the bottom line here soon as he pulls in behind Hayden here. I am going to chat here for race control really quick. Mike, will you keep tabs on what's going on here in turn 3 and 4?
Absolutely. As these drivers come up here into turns 3 and 4, you see Matt Chalker in that number 76 machine. He's trying to make it work on that outside, getting a really good push, I believe, by that. Oh, we got trouble here on the front straightaway.
We got trouble here? Oh,
the
no, 76. Is that the 76 again?
The 76 and 22.
Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
Oh! No.
Oh, very unfortunate there.
Man. We'll leave Garrett alone then for now because he has a little bit to deal with. But here's the thing. 76. Unlucky again? Or was this one on him? When you get a replay cleaned up here, Mike, let me know. I'm genuinely curious.
Yeah, absolutely. We were actually just sitting there watching that 76 machine. So let's go ahead and oh, whoops, wrong.
I mean, we're seeing he's spinning. Yeah, he's gone already.
Yeah, so I actually need to go back to where they originally went off track. No, gotta go back.
Even further, yeah, even further. Holy cow!
I think I need to change my settings here, but
oh, there we go. We're good. We see it. Okay, let's run this as we can. So the car up front, I don't know. I think that was Hayden, moves up, and the 76 kind of followed him up there and made contact with the 22. It seems like this might be the incident where the 76 might have to take full responsibility for once.
Yeah, and as they come out through here back into the trial, the 76, he was trying to come back on track and just wasn't aware.
Yeah.
And they just slam right into that. Who is that? The 744 of Michael Hogg.
He dropped a really in the chat. I mean, fair enough. Like that. I mean, that's something you'll have to talk about because, cutting that cone in an official session, that green cone on the end of pit road is going to be a drive-through, like unsafe pit entry or exit. Right. But here's the thing. This is majors. You got a live steward. He'll clear that black flag right away because it avoids an incident just like that from the 22.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's come back here.
Chat, let's write this up like we're sim racing stewards on Reddit here. What do we think? Who's taking responsibility for the first incident? It's the 76 or the 22, and who's taking responsibility here for that cone cut? What do we think?
Yeah, let me find Michael Hogg here in my list. There you are, right here, and we're gonna actually ride on board with him coming up here out of the trial.
Yeah, let's see it. I mean, he's got to be thinking, okay, they're off track. They're down there. I'm good. And all of a sudden, boom, it's over. That's race. I mean, at this stage in the race, it's probably ending. That's why he even put in the text chat, really, with 18 question marks. Let's see. S. Bowen in the chat says the 22 is at fault for the first and the 76 for the rejoin. Interesting. That's the opposite of how I was looking at it.
Yeah, let's go back here. Take a look. Slow-mo one more time.
I think we need an onboard chase cam on the 76. I feel like he might have kept his line on the 22 for the first contact. Okay. Let's get an onboard here in this spot of the race. When we got time.
No. Yeah, the
Do you think the 76 held his line or no?
The 22 came down.
Yeah, and you know what? The 76, this isn't traffic. This isn't the highway or the freeway or whatever the heck they call it in, Australia and New Zealand. You don't have to stay in a specific lane. You establish where you're at. Like if somebody moves, it's kind of on them. And I think you might be right, Off Simulations. The 76, in my opinion, now for the first contact, he's off the yellow line, but he's not obligated to stay there. And he is holding his line pretty solid. I mean, they kind of converged.
Yeah, the 22 definitely made the biggest movement downward there. At this point, if I was, the 76 though, I would be thinking, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it. Gonna ask for my black flag get cleared, and just unfortunately, he wasn't. I don't want to say he wasn't thinking, but he was like, all right, let me get back on track. And just unfortunately, I don't think he didn't know. Right. I don't know if he knew the 22 was still there at that point until it was too late. And the 28, unfortunately, getting involved here as well.
That's tough, man. I'll read the safe for work chat here from Michael Hogg in the session. That rejoin by the 76 was feral. I mean, he ain't wrong.
Yeah,
and that became a bigger problem than it needed to be.
Yeah, definitely a bigger problem there than it needed to be for sure. Man, my heart absolutely breaks. So at the same time for that 76, just getting caught up in, again, somebody else's mess. But at the same time, he also didn't make the right choice, by cutting through the pits there. And I mean, I know that's one of the things that these stewards talk about, in the pre-race meetings is, you go down pit road to avoid an accident, or are in an accident, you can get your black flag cleared. And, he was shoved down under the yellow into what he could have gone down into the pits, and he got those black flag cleared. And I think we would have had a much better outcome if he did just that, but he decided not to do that, and he tried to come back up on track, and unfortunately, I think he will get dinged with the for bringing out the caution here.
Yeah, and as we go into green, here's the thing to think about. A lot of the cars in the back of the pack right now that weren't involved in the incident, there was 5 or 6 cars. I'm not going to pull out all the numbers with the green flag coming here, but they pit under this yellow. And I know I've been talking about this 42 to 45 pit window. I mean, you might make it on gas if there's a yellow or two here. You might be able to get away with not pitting here through the end of the race if they would have pit at the end. Yeah, interesting strategy to shuffle out towards the front here. If there are a few more yellows, like some of these cars in the back might end up back in the front.
Yeah, I mean, as we are coming to 46 laps to go, 47 laps, something like along those lines. I mean, just one more caution that could absolutely get these guys to the end for those that just pitted. But it's going to be awfully close because, again, we don't know if there will be green-white checkers.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really good point. Now, we do have race control giving official word. The 22 has been black flagged with incident responsibility, changing lanes before the start-finish line, and having a drive-through. This is a really interesting penalty. They are being asked to do a drive-through after they have gone around for this first time. So you should see the 22 dropping into the pits, and yep, you're already seeing it. It looks like they are actually just coming in. We'll probably somebody's off track of the tri-oval. Not sure if that's going to trigger a yellow. But yeah, the 76 has been given the rejoin will be reviewed post-race. So that's going to be discussed together, and I mean that's going to be a fun conversation. I would not want to be Matt in that conversation. I mean,
so the
he basically said I'm scared of a code or of a code.
Oh, whoops! Hang on, guys. So the 76 once again found his way into the infield.
Oh,
grass.
that was the 76. That's what you're saying. That's the 76 to the grass again. Yeah. And this time he avoids the cone and does actually get his black flags cleared. So
yep, but
we had a lesson learned in 2 laps.
But look, he got turned off somebody's nose.
Oh, but that, I don't know. On me, that way, I think he's seeing red, man. I think he's seeing red, Mike.
He very well could be at this point, and
I mean, you gotta be jaded at this point. All right, let's get us back live. We are getting some action in the front. Let's take us through our top 10 one more time.
Yeah, real quick, Kevin Garcia, he dropped. I want to come back here real quick.
I'm selling him in second. Is he no longer in second place?
Oh, that's weird. Because it shows.
Yeah, it may have been a weird blip, but I have Kevin still in second place from the United States here, all by himself.
Then you absolutely ignore me, and let's go ahead and run through that top 10 like you asked.
Well, in our pre-race here, Mike, you told me to ignore you or interrupt you whenever we can, because at the end of the day, we're trying to do this, not sitting next to each other, not in the same room here. I can't tap you on the shoulder and tell you to shut up, and you can't do the same to me. So what we're seeing here is Hayden Kirk back in the lead. He has controlled a lot of this race. He, with the gold bay leaf on the side, has decided that he will be the leader here. And at this point in the race, it's not too important to save gas if you are not trying to make it without another stop. There might be a few cars towards the back that are trying to make this without another stop, but for the most part, I think, based on my calculations from what we've seen so far, a lot of these cars are going to have to pit at least one more time for a quick splash, no tires, just to get us to the end. So we'll go through Hayden, then let's get us to Kevin Garcia. He has been up front a lot independently here without his teammates. This is a very strong showing from a team without any help. He is, not sitting here, worrying about fighting too early. He has just found himself shuffled to the front over and over again, getting an eye out to the right and the left to make sure he doesn't overheat. Go to the 37 of Dean Mole. He is going to be, he has been a part of this race the whole time. He has not really been involved in too many of these incidents. He is kept the nose clean, and at the end of the day, it is almost lap 160, and he is going to be in the picture here as long as this doesn't shuffle back some of those guys that made those late pit stops that might be saving a little more gas. If we get into the 25 car of Gavin Barber, he is going to be the first of these Polaris off-road sponsored MFR machines. And we're going to zoom out here. Look who is swinging around the outside. We got Robert Love is back in the Buc-ee's car again. Missed opportunity for Love's gas stations, but here we are. He is deciding once again, I am going to make this outside line work. The 44 is the king of the outside line right now. Usually as a pusher, but right now he's being the leader. I'm curious to see if he is going to try and drop down in front of this group or try to keep this outside line going right up against the wall.
Yeah,
we don't have to go through the rest of the top 10. This is getting too much fun.
I don't know who's in the top 10 anymore.
Yeah, you know what? By the time we go back through it, it's going to be a complete mix.
Absolutely.
This is what's crazy about Daytona and Dega is you are having cars switch spots, switch movements all the time. You know, you can't even you can't imagine like being the guy in charge of the graphics here, trying to make sure everything's updated and moving around correctly, because at the end of the day, you only have so many timing loops around this track where you're able to make sure everything's in order.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially, back in the, 50s, 60s, when everything was done by hand.
100%, Mike. Like when everything was done by hand in the 50s and 60s, it was crazy. I mean, there was stories of guys that they forgot to count a lap or they accidentally counted an extra lap and they end up winning a race purely because somebody on a piece of paper said they did.
Absolutely. I mean, for the very first Daytona 500, I mean, it took 3 days to reverse it and give it back to Lee Petty. I mean, that was the first Daytona 500. So, I mean, it's just absolutely crazy.
I cannot imagine having that much responsibility. I can barely keep track to what's going on here on track today. I can't imagine having to be the one to write it all down.
Yeah, imagine being that guy that really screwed everything up. And I remember watching NASCAR's biggest blunders, and in one race with Dale Earnhardt, they picked up the wrong driver as the race leader.
Yep.
And they spent like 35 laps under caution trying to get it all sorted out.
Oh yeah, I mean that's exactly what I'm referencing. Like, was it North Wilkesboro? I remember where that was, but obviously I was not alive. Yeah, it sounds right. We'll go with it. Someone correct us in chat if you want to get Googling. I'm a little busy for that right now. But at the end of the day, like, I mean, we're not doing this by hand. At least we have an entire computer simulation actually doing this. I did bring Garrett into the chat. We've had a lot of conversation about the 22 and the 76 here, Garrett. We'd love to hear your take on the first initial contact. And we see you gave the 22 a drive-through for that, but then the 76's rejoin has had a lot of questions on track, trying to avoid that cone and pit road exit. It looks like instinctually.
Yeah. So the first contact is the rule in majors is you can't change lanes before the start finish line. Now, even though iRacing will let you drop or go around the outside of somebody on the right-hand side before the start finish line, you can't change lanes in majors until you get the start finish line. So the 22 cars definitely made a move to the left from the right-hand lane before the start finish line and initiated the contact. So that's why the penalty was issued to the 22. The rejoin for the 76 we pushed to a post-race review. I'd really like to talk to the 76 car and see what they were doing at the time. As you said, people that run officials or run races without live admins are a bit sort of tuned into don't run into the pit lane if that scenario occurs, because you're going to get given an unsafe pit entry. Now, obviously, race control is here to clear those flags where that occurs, because we understand what's occurred. And why you've ended up crossing the pit entry relatively in an unsafe manner. So whether the instincts have kicked in and they've tried to just stay the right-hand side of the cone, green cone, or what's actually gone on there, we've pushed that to post-race review. So it's not that the 76 cars got away with that rejoin. We just want to push that review to post-race, and so get a bit more information, and then we'll make a determination on it from that. So that's what's going on there.
100%. I think that was the correct decision. That's what Mike and I were talking about, especially with the chat too, is that the 76, it looks like instinctually was like, I can't hit this cone or my race is over. And like in majors, live stewarding, you know, you're using your race credits to show up here and make sure that you can actually, you know, have a live steward so that you don't have to worry about the iRacing quirks.
Yeah, and then, I mean, the other thing too is that we do know that sometimes the iRacing physics, once you get onto the grass and slick NASCARs, it can tend to do its own thing. So yeah, look, we just need a little bit more data on what was actually going on there, because obviously we don't know. Look, but sure, we didn't want to make a determination without being able to have proper discourse and a proper look at it, whether there's some data available or whatever from the series. So that one's been pushed to post race. Will be looked at after the races.
Proper choice, Garrett. I agree. And you know, as we get back to the on-track action, anything you want to add here before you get buckled in for the last 35, 34 laps here?
Yeah, look, this could take 20 minutes. This could take an hour and a half. Let's see which one of those two scenarios we get. It could be a really cool run to the flag here, or we could have a million cautions. So yeah, let's see what happens. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Whatever happens, there's a lot of cars buried that probably feel like they should be at the front. There's a lot of cars at the front that started buried. So yeah, see how it all shakes out.
And I'm really curious on how this fuel run is going to go for some of those guys that are buried. A lot of them pitted on that 45, 47 laps to go caution. Yeah, if they get one more yellow, they're shuffling to the front.
Yeah, no one's getting home if it's green, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see if somebody rolls the dice if there's some yellows to see whether they can get home. So yeah,
exactly. With no green checkers, which I don't have hope for.
Yeah, so let's see how it all pans out.
All right, hey, get back to race control, Garen. Appreciate you joining.
Yep, no worries. Run away before it. There's another safety cover of hanging here. Run away. Bye.
Absolutely. No, that's good. I mean, the reason I like to bring Garen in, and again, this is my first time doing one of the majors races, so hopefully I'm handling it well, folks. But one of the reasons I like to bring Garen in from race control is it's an interesting perspective on like why these decisions were made. Like the actual care and thought that's going into these decisions is something you're just not getting. But back to the on-track action, like I promised, you don't want to hear us just talk about how great majors is all the time, because it's at the end of the day, it's feel like a running ad on Instagram. What you're seeing right now is the 44 of Rob Love once again getting pushed on the outside line to the front. Who do we got behind him here in that black and white? Is that the 607 car? Are my eyes deceiving me here, Mike?
No, it is the 607 machine of Steven Banks. He's been right behind Love probably the past 6 or 7 laps now, and once he got back behind him, sure enough, they pushed their way all the way up to the front spot, and Love, he's looking to take over the race lead, but they're coming up on some lap down traffic that could absolutely change this whole entire situation here.
Absolutely. Let's look at here. The 555 here did pit. It looks like early. Maybe they took a gamble in hoping to have a chance to cycle to the front. Maybe they were just purely out of gas, but at the end of the day, they're shuffling to the back. They might hope for the lucky dog, but that's not to get into the lead. It looks like Rob Love has given up the outside lane. I didn't think I was actually going to have to say that in this race. And is going solo to take the lead without any help. Absolutely incredible by Rob to be able to slide down in front here. How many ferns do we see up front right now, Mike? Because I don't see very many besides that 371 car.
I see... one, I think.
One, the 371 car. There are no other ferns up here, dude. We had 13 of them in a row here, with a couple mixed in maybe 15 laps ago. And now the 371 of Hayden Kirk is all by himself. There is a swarm of bees. This is like a freaking Miata race where you're stuck out all alone here in the banks of Daytona. This is not a team race for him anymore. He is trying to find a new friend. And you know what? If I'm everyone else in here and I see that fern again, I'm making sure they get shuffled back so I don't have to worry about them working together again.
Absolutely. We got 30 laps to go. This time by Love out front, and that 371, of Hayden Kirk, he's a fast driver. All right. So,
he's quick.
I watched him a couple weeks ago, or yeah, it feels like just a couple weeks ago, when we were doing the Snowball Derby, I believe it was. He was out there holding his own, and let me tell you what, he's quick. So I don't think he necessarily needs those other feathers out up there with him.
Yeah, that's a different world. That is a different world. But at the end of the day, if everyone's a loner, I'd still put my money on Hayden here. I've watched a few of these races with him in it. I've seen him in a few officials here and there. I've seen him in a few PSR races. It's, you know, it's tough to pick anybody here, but if I'm throwing my hat in the ring here, depending on how the pit stops go, which is going to be the absolute, you know, crapshoot here, Robert Love in the 44 is honestly who I've seen work the draft better than everyone. He has found a way to catch everyone, no matter how far back he's been shuffled. And where's our buddy Cameron Dance? I know we've been talking about him a lot, and I have not seen him here for a moment. Where is that 2.7 car here, Mike?
So the 2.7 is currently back in that 17th spot, hanging out with the other feathers back here. I think he's trying to blend in with them so that he can have a shot at the win closing later on here in just about 28 laps.
We will see how it works out here now. Why don't we get an in-car camera of the 44? We are catching the lap traffic here, and this is going to be quite interesting. If we go in-car with the 44, it's going to give us a really good view of what this is like from trying to catch this lap group here. It's going to be quite a conglomerate. So what we're seeing here is there are 3 lapped cars ahead. Or about to be lapped cars ahead. One is to the right side. The other 2 are to the left side of the track. You can see here that they are kind of jockeying for position, but the lead car is 2 cars ahead of the 44. They have to decide, are the lap cars going to go up the track or stay right where they're at? And at this point in time, it looks like they're going to stay right where it's at. So the 44 has no idea what they're going to do until he sees those cars in front jump to the outside. All of these cars now have to shift up the track, but these lapped cars are just as fast as they are. They have no advantage over passing them here. This is a fight for them because these 3 cars are team cars that pit together early and are trying to stay on the lead lap in case of a caution. Now, if we zoom out at the track here, you'll see this car on the left side here has joined forces with the current leader. It looks like this is the 371 of Hayden. As you can see, great decision, in my opinion, of Hayden to get behind those freshly lapped or soon to be lapped cars and be able to latch onto them and try to use them as the new inside line. As you can see, everyone on the outside is got to get shuffled back because he can sit here, tow along this bottom line, pull up to the front, still continue saving gas, and not worry about getting shuffled back right now because you're holding the inside line.
Yeah, definitely. Those guys currently out in front is, who is that? The 585 machine? Is that who that is?
Yeah, probably one of the 5ers. Yeah.
685. Yeah. So he's one of the Polaris drivers. So those those front 3 on the inside, those are the Polaris drivers. So I mean, as we go 3 wide with the 76. Oh, contact trouble.
Man, contact 740, 607, 604, 674. Oh, we got trouble everywhere. This is a mess. This is going to really shake out. Really interesting. We got 35 is in an incident as well. This is crazy. This is going to bring out another safety car here. You know, that looks like the 744. Michael Hogg, his race is done. There is no way he's getting that car repaired in time to have another chance. Phil Otto, man, tough race for Phil. He has been struggling to keep up front. But what we need to keep a look at here is those 3 cars that were able to stay on the lead lap are going to cycle to the front. As this is an absolute disaster on pit road. That front right wheel is not supposed to be facing that way. If you take us to, I believe, Dan Stevens in the 3 car, this is going to be interesting. We had a question in chat earlier about the 3 car. I think the 3 car has a chance to cycle out into the top 5 or 6 here. If we click into the, there's Jason. Let's go to the 3, not the 03. No, you're good. You're clicking around. You're trying to catch up. So he is kept on the lead lap before this caution with his little group of 3 cars here. These 3 cars stayed in front during this incident. What's happening is they, although we're in the very back of the pack, no longer have to pit because they pit under green and were able to stay together, use teamwork with his Polaris cars. They'll be in the top half of the pack, maybe the top 1, 2, and 3 as we get back to, you know, yellow flag pit stops here if you want to go back up to the 371 with Hayden. So here comes Hayden going into the pits As you can see, there's one car, it looks like, from that group that is staying out. That car is the 25 that I believe was a lap down, but Hayden's going to pit and get overtaken as the 3 car come all the way around the track. These will be the last pit stops needed for most of these drivers. It's going to be an idea of, are you going to try and, just fill for the initial yellow flag here, or are you going to try to go in, really, really risky and try to pretend like there isn't going to be any green, white checkers at the end of this race? Looks like we have a few. We got some blinks on pit road. We won't worry about it. It's the smoke, man. I think the smoke is causing issues on the computer, but you're all right. We're not missing much here. Everybody's going pretty chill in pit road. They're trying not to run into each other. I'm seeing no issues here at all. Looks like Morph in the chat has said the 76 has been mayhem. And what Mike says in the chat, the 76 gets me retaliating on the grass, and now this. I'm assuming that's Mike Hogg. The impatience out there is ridiculous. Commentators curse at lap 45. They were like, oh, this race has been super clean. Yeah, you're right, Morph. I don't think that's incorrect at all.
I knew that. I knew they were going to come back at me for that one.
Oh, I mean, absolutely. I mean, if you say one thing negative about how this race is going, or one thing positive about how this race is going, it's almost guaranteed it's going to get screwed over. All right, as you're getting settled back in, I think it is time to click on Dan Stevens' name once you're back in sim here. Dan Stevens is looking like our new leader. So again, he was able to, make that pit stop under green work with his teammates, cycle to the front without having to pit again. This is crazy strategy by the PS or the Polaris folks. All right, we are reloading the simulation to get us to the finish here. But yeah, all you're missing on screen here is the 3 car has taken the lead with those green flag pit stops. That group of 3 Polaris cars have worked together. Now, one of them has dropped off the lead lap here and gotten the lucky dog cycle to the back of the pack. But the first 2 in the number 3 and the number 25, that is Dan Stevens and Gavin Baker, have cycled to the front, with somehow Hayden Kirk sneaking out of the pits between them and going to be taking the outside line here on the restart. So we're going to have the 3 on the inside line here and Dan Stevens on the outside line. We're going to have Hayden Kirk inside line, Gavin Barber outside line. Robbie Bradbury has somehow made it back up to the front. Looks like, go ahead. How are we doing on the load here? We are coming out of turn 2 here. Getting ready to go green here on the back half of the track.
Yeah, absolutely. Just going to be just a couple more moments here before I am loaded back in. But yeah, Robbie Bradbury, I want to touch up on him in that number 35 machine. Right before I had to reload, he's up to that 4th spot. And I mean, he's had an incredible run coming back from the back. But I mean, he's been a silent one that's been, making his way up through the field, and seeing him up there in that 4th spot, not surprising whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, these races at Daytona, there's a lot of skill involved, there's a lot of positioning involved, but at the end of the day, it's sometimes 52 card pickup. Like, you're just hoping for something here. As we come around turn 4 here, we do have the stream back up. We are live once again. We have Dan Stevens on the inside line leading us to green, as all these cars are going to be popping paints and getting trading paints loading here. The pace car is off. We are entering the Geico restart zone, and Dan has pressed the pedal with his teammate right on his rear bumper. It's going to be really interesting to see how Dan and Gavin handle this, as the only 2 teammates that seem to be currently linked up in the front of the field here for the last 21 or so lap sprint here before we possibly get to the green white checkers. Let's see how clean we can make this towards the end.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very surprised how well the 371 of Hayden Kirk and Robbie Bradbury is hanging strong on that outside lane. I know the last couple of restarts, that outside lane kind of got mumbled and jumbled up, but I mean, these two now, they're pretty much just running side by side here with your race leaders. So this restart was absolutely phenomenal for that 371 machine.
Absolutely. I mean, the 371 here is out on the outside here. He got no friends behind him. I can't find any of those Baileys within the next 3 or 4 lines here. Maybe on the inside line. It's hard to tell. Yeah, he's got some help with the 36 car of Paul McKenzie is there, but he's stuck on the inside line. There's no way they're going to be able to link up like this. I could see, Paul forcing the issue here soon. Being on the bottom line, third back, being able to try to pop up behind the 371. And we got incident 10. This is all out the window. Everyone's spinning. Everyone's out. We got another safety car. I don't know even what happened there. That is an absolute mess. This is going to absolutely mix up those top 10. And that 3 car, after all of that work, is just going to be shuffled back, it looks like, if I'm seeing this correctly. Actually, the 3 might be all right, but every car behind the 371, this is just going to mix up this entire front pack.
Yeah, that 3 car is up front, still in the 4th spot, so he was able to get around the chaos. And I'm glad that my mic muted itself, because, man, did I just get loud there for a hot second.
I did not see that coming here, Mike. I can't tell.
Oh,
Yeah, it looks like the 3 made pretty heavy contact. Yeah, heavy contact on the right front. I don't see a way he's going to get around having to try and stop there. The entire right front on my screen I'm seeing is completely pushed in. That's going to be a major issue. Garen is giving everybody a quick talking to here in race control. I'm not even going to bug him here. But wow, that is a classic late race wreck at Daytona. Here on lap 181.
Yep, a lot of really good wreck avoidance for probably about like a good 8 or 9 of these drivers back here in the back, though. They did an absolute phenomenal job here, staying off of everybody, and man, that was just crazy.
Yeah. We got S. Bowen in the chat here going, no, R.I.P. Stevens. I know he's been asking about him a lot of this race here. He just, I'm sorry, that's Daytona. But hey, you know what? There could be a dozen more of these wrecks, and if he didn't hit it too hard, it only takes him a couple minutes to repair this damage. He might be shuffling back up to the front before the end of all this is happening. I mean, if you ever watched a real-life race at Daytona, you see all these damaged cars crossing the line in the front pack at the end. This is just a race of survival and damage limitation. So who are we going to have pitting here? Obviously, Stevens with that big right front contact. 371.
My dude, I am looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 black flags and 2 meatball flags.
Are these all from race control, or are these coming from, I mean, meatballs, obviously?
Incidents.
Oh my God.
Yes. Yeah,
wow.
So
Karen's got the hammer out.
Cam James.
Oh, iRacing incidents, the 16 over the 16 limit and the 8 times limit.
All right.
Wow. Cam James. Okay, yeah. List off. Go through the black flags. I'm gonna take a quick break.
Cam James, Robert Henry, Hayden Kirk, Stuart Elder, Kevin Garcia, Jason Lottridge, Phil Otto, Robert Northway. Then we got Mark Newton, Stephen Banks, Michael Hogg, Craig Tilson. And then we have Phil King and Jake Fox, all with Meatball to get those cars fixed. So, yeah, just a lot of these drivers are going to have to do a drive-through, so...
and let's be clear, that's going to have to happen under green. They're going to need to go green, be able to make it around the track, and then we're going to have a cluster of cars trying to make their quick pit stop to try to catch before the next yellow.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. You know, I've been in this situation before, and I personally have brought I've come down pit road, stopped at the end, just to make sure I'm at the back of the field, because when I drop down, I don't want to get clobbered behind. So, you know, with like Cam James, you know, he's in that number 99 machine. He's starting on the inside there. He's going to have to come down. Robert Henry, he's starting 6th. So he's going to be on the outside. He's going to have to find his way down onto...
We have a big update here. The 99 car is being given the cause of incident penalty. He's going to have to drop to the end of the line anyway.
All right, well...
Problem solved.
Problem solved with that one, but we still got about 8 drivers out here with black flags. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, can you tell me our leader right now? Who is it? Now that Cam has dropped down, what's that number in the lead here?
Here,
well, at least on the outside line. Cameron Dance has taken the lead again, or for the first time, right?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, Cameron Dance. I mean, yeah, he's going to be on the outside line. I think iRacing will give the start to Paul McKenzie on the inside in the end. But Cameron has shuffled up to the front row here for the restart.
Talk about somebody that does not give up.
I mean, this is important to say, like, he was just in the right place, right time, made sure he had a way to avoid the incidents. And, you know, we'll see how this shakes out, but you know, I don't like to pick favorites, but I do like following a good story here.
Yeah, definitely. And Cameron Dance, he has definitely been one of the biggest stories all race long.
Absolutely. One of the easiest to find liveries on track as well. The pace car's lights are out. We are coming out of turn 4. I'm having a quick snack, and we're going to be going green here to the end, hopefully. Yeah, right. What am I saying?
All right.
All right. It looks like the restart will be controlled by Paul McKenzie. Yeah. The green flag is in the air, and we are green, green, green. We have Paul McKenzie and Cameron Dance on the outside line. Here going hard, and, of course, Robert Love. Bottom inside line. We'll see if he's going to try to keep working that inside line behind Paul McKenzie, or if he's going to try to work his way back up to the top of his favorite place.
Yeah, as you guys saw, as these guys jumped up into the high banks here of turns 1 and 2, a lot of those cars decided to go down to the inside. So all those drivers that are getting ready to come down pit road are now all on the inside where they need to be. So Cameron Dance dancing up in front of Dean Mole, holding on to everything he's got at this point.
We got 1, 2, 3, like you said, we got 8 dozen cars or so that have all tried to cut down pit road. Anybody that makes it through that pit entry will fulfill their drive-through if they are able to make it through safely before a yellow flag, as long as you make it through that first entry point. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cars, and 1 stopping with a stop and go or maybe some damage repair here. I mean, this is incredible. We got Cameron Dance. After all of this, Cameron Dance is in the lead. The 37 of Dean Mole behind him. These two guys have been working by themselves for the most part in this race and have somehow shaken their way up. I'm curious on what kind of deals their spotters are making on the spotter stand today.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, it's been an absolute blast to watch Cameron Dance just have trouble after trouble after trouble. And now he's leading the field with 15 laps to go here in the Intimidator 500.
Yeah, once again, we got Cam Dance, Dean Mole, Paul McKenzie, Robert Love, Wayne Taylor, and Ryan Steele. You know, has been quiet, has been a good pusher, but has worked his way back up to the front. U1 is also up front here in the 7th spot. So I expect, and I'm going to be wrong as I always am, this to run single file for a little bit of time here while everybody's trying to kind of figure out where they're going to be plan out for, if there's going to be another yellow, if they want to be on the inside or the outside line. You might see Robert Love, of all people, try to back off here and maybe get a run going. So he's let these if you see the 44 of Rob Love has let the top 3 get away. So he might be trying to get a run, organized in the back end to try to move a couple people from that bottom line to go with him.
Yeah, I just want to throw out another quick update about those cars that just came down pit road. Robert Northway, I believe he got hit with speeding on the pits on exit, so he had to come back down pit road. So I'm not sure if everything's going all right with Robert Northway right now in that 46, but he's back down pit road.
I'd hate to be the guy under that yellow, or under that drive-through, under that helmet. We got a question in chat while we're still straight line here for a little bit. Is Cam Dance the same guy who had multiple contacts during his first pit stop? Yes, that is the 27. Had multiple incidents on the yellow. Some are his fault. I feel like he more just got forced out there at a green flag pit stop entry and had some trouble getting into the pit box. But at the end of the day, if you keep the nose clean, that's how you're going to have a chance at the end of the race here.
Yeah, definitely. And he's made up for that first pit stop incident stuff, as he has been turned multiple times, slammed on the brakes to avoid it, spin out. So I mean, he's definitely, he's repaid his dues for that, and it's really nice to see Dance back out front here at Daytona here with 12 laps to go.
Absolutely. Mr. Big Ad 83 says hello. Anything else you'd like to add?
What's up? I'm sorry, guys.
Right,
it's 3:13 in the morning here.
Yeah, we're struggling. Mike and I got we were told we had to commentate from Daytona's time zone here. Not sure why, but I got church in the morning. All right, so we got this top 4. It's kind of broken away. I'm genuinely curious what's going to happen with the 60 car of Wayne Taylor. If he's going to try to organize a little bit of a run back here from the 5th spot back. These cars too wide are, doing nothing but hurting themselves at that point. You can see the little gap is being, happening after the 7th place car in line. You don't want to lose the draft at this stage in the race as we cross over to lap 190.
Yeah, definitely. It's go time at this point. You want to be at this point, you're going to start talking, where are your friends that you've been making all race long for the last 400 plus miles? As we see the 3 car here of Dan Stevens falling all the way back to this 14th spot, all the way back here into the back end. That 76 machine finally getting back in line here, Matt Chalker. So he's finally got himself back up and moving here. But man, let me tell you what, I'm really excited to see what happens here in the final 10 laps.
Absolutely. Now we're seeing the 2.7 has taken, pretty much control of the inside line of this race. But, if I'm coming up in the last couple laps, where's the one place you don't want to be coming down the backstretch here at Daytona on the last lap?
P1.
It is the only place where no one's on your team. You might have somebody pushing you into turn 3, but they are trying to figure out a way to get down to the side of you in the trial for sure. There ain't no friends here in the last lap, and it's going to be absolutely wild here once the white flag falls. Now, is that white flag going to fall in here 9 laps, or are we going to have a couple green-white checkers here towards the end?
I don't know. We'll have to definitely see. Now, I'm going to give my little secret away here. Every time I do my races here at these super speedways, if I always notice that I'm running with the same people, throughout the week, one race I'll work with them. If I'm running third, I'll push them up towards the front and push them to the win. But then the very next race, I'll push him to try to pass the leader, but I'm going to suck right back down behind the leader and push him to the race lead. So nobody ever knows what I'm thinking and what I'm going to do next.
Absolutely. Now, as we're talking about that, we are seeing, we've mentioned these bay leaves and ferns, whatever I'm supposed to call them here these days. I've been corrected too many times, are really starting to organize on that outside line. I'm curious if anyone's going to try to jump outside with them out of these top 5, outside of maybe Paul McKenzie. Because if I'm thinking anybody's going to jump out, it's probably going to be the one fern in 3rd place here. We got the 51 car of Matt Puck here leading that charge with who is outside of, or who's behind him here, Mike? Can you see?
Yeah, so...
and there, hold on, I'm going to cut you off as Robert Love tries to get in front to take on the outside line. But like I said, those ferns were not going to let that happen. They want to have control of the top line. And the 44 car of Robert Love has been denied the shot to cut up in front and have a chance at taking the lead.
Yeah, he was finally getting himself back in line here, but you got Ben Dottie right behind Matthew Pluck. So that outside lane, you know, don't blink because they are coming and they're coming quick. And, you know, that 36 machine, he could also pop up right in front of that number 51 machine. So Paul McKenzie, you know, he could pop up to help his race, his teammates here, but as of right now, he's staying on the inside.
Absolutely. Now, big update for those Dan Stevens fans. He is creeping into the top 10 here on the outside line, 5th in line. He has his car all repaired. He is ready to give it one more shot. We will see what happens with Dan here as the outside line starts to check up and get bumper to bumper here. When these cars are bumper to bumper, they are the fastest they will be. We're going to start seeing the 51 try to start side drafting here if he's able to get up. Now, the question is, Paul McKenzie in the 36 is on the bottom end. You see, he is not coming up to block this 51 car and try to get in with the other Fern cars. Maybe that's internal team orders, or maybe he's running rogue here on his own, trying to, you know, feel comfortable in this position. You can see he's kind of creeping up front here in the 36. Is he going to hold it? No, he's just slam drafting the bottom left line here, trying to do something with him. I'm genuinely curious what the plan is with the 36 here, if he's running on his own or with all the Kiwis.
Yeah, definitely going to be very interesting to see what happens here. And, you know, I believe this is the last 5 Kiwis here, you know, in this front group is, you know, you got the 3 up top and then back, I think the last 2 cars maybe, and then you got the 36 up here in the front. So we got maybe about 5 or 6 of them up here, you know, but, I mean, their chances of winning are starting to dwindle as their drivers are nowhere in sight.
And who has just taken over the outside line here, Mike?
You don't want to know. That's that 44 machine of Robert Love.
An absolute terror on the outside line. You know what the Ferns have decided to do? Turn
no,
him!
he gets
He
turned!
lost the field! I guess they just decided to turn him! I stand corrected. I thought we were all going to work together here, but absolutely not. The 44 is caught up in an incident in his home on the outside line towards the end, and Robert Love, I mean, it looks like he got run over, man. I don't know, but from a first glance, that did not look great.
Yeah.
I don't want to quickly pass judgment, but
let's go high in the sky for this replay, and you know,
it's the only way here.
Let's see what happened here. No.
Oh, take us back. Yeah, take us back.
Taking us way back.
Yeah, I mean the 51's on his bumper.
Shoved.
It's tough. It's tough to say there's fault, especially this late in the race. It's tough to say the 51 did something wrong. It looked more like just kind of like the 44. I mean, what'll happen here is the 44 kind of moves up the track, and you can kind of see it here on the corner of the screen. Look at that damage on the 12 while we're looking at the screen here.
Yeah, right. Where are you at? 44. There you is. All right. Now I'm going.
So you'll see the 44. If you yeah, there we go. If we slow this down, you'll see he kind of goes down, and he's kind of holding his line. You see that black line of tar on the track. That's kind of how you can judge.
Right here.
Right here, he slides up. That right left quarter panel gets tapped just at the wrong angle right when you get out of the corner. The air and the weight go off of the rear tires of these cars, and they just don't stick as well right when you exit that corner. There is a sweet spot where you want to hit them right when they settle down, but it looks like the 51 just missed it. It's one of those things where I feel like that's just a Daytona quirk. I don't think that's something that you can assign too much blame to at this time of the race.
Yeah. You and Baker involved in this one here as well. The 333 going for a ride through the grass. Yeah, I mean, it's tough, especially here in the closing laps. But this is going to set us up for a very interesting finish.
Yeah, this is the green-white checker.
Yeah, we've got quite a few drivers down here on pit road.
Now, this is who we got up front.
Yeah, the lights are off.
They're on. Yeah, they're still on. Yep, we're still single file here. Lights on the pace car.
Oh, yeah, they just threw them back on.
Yep. So they'll be going around at least 1.5 more times here. We got Cameron Dance in the lead. We have Dean Mull in second place here. Paul McKenzie in third in the 36. Wayne Taylor in the 60 in fourth place. Ben Doty, who has just been given the voice chat ban for the rest of the race, is still in P5, so we'll see how that goes. Ewan Baker is looking to be in 6th place. And then Dan Stevens back up in 7th place. Keep your nose clean towards the end. That's all that really matters.
Yeah, definitely.
Chat is seeming to put the blame on the 51 here. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what race control thinks. They are giving the 44 the EOL. That's interesting. I mean, I don't think we're going to get Garen's response on that, but I don't necessarily disagree with it. They must have saw something we didn't. Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah, now I want to find out, because I mean that is definitely tough.
Yeah.
All right, so we are now officially in overtime. So we are going to
lap 199.
So we're going to go green-white checkered here for our first green-white checkered attempt.
Listen to Garen really quick. One moment. Yep, Garen has given Rob just an end-of-line penalty, so he'll still be in the race here. If the damage is repaired, he's just end of the longest line, so he's not out of it. If something crazy happens, especially if we get multiple green-white checkers here. But here's what's going to happen here, folks. You're going to have a green flag here, and then you're going to have a white flag, and then you're going to have the checkered flag. That's a 2-lap shootout to the end. If we get a yellow flag, what will happen is if it is between that initial green flag and the white flag, we will have another yellow and rack him back up and try this all over again. If we get to the white flag significantly, what will happen is there won't be another yellow called. They will sit here, run it to the checker, and send everybody to the end. There's no interest in safety here. We're all hopefully not running on too big of a direct drive wheel that we're going to hurt ourselves. If we get to that white flag, that next flag will be the checkered flag that ends the race.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be very interesting here. I do see the 17. He does have a black flag, and Ryan Steele in the 12 as well. So a couple more drivers hit with those penalties. So, I mean...
How's our top 5? Hit me quick.
Our top 5 is fine.
All right, then we'll focus on them for now. We'll probably see some folks drop off halfway through this next lap. They might not be able to serve these penalties. But here we go with the 2-7 is going to be leading us on the bottom. Cameron Dance, one of the most fun stories with his buddy in the 37 up high. They all have to stay in line until the start-finish line. It looks like our top 5 or 6 have done really well at that. Now the 2-7 is trying to decide, do I go high? Do I go low? Do I go high? Do I go low? He has a little bit of a gap, which is not what you want from P1 in this point in the race. The 3-6 is getting pushed by the 3-1-3 car, another Fern. So Ben and Paul will be working together as they pop out to the outside line. They are bumper to bumper. They have all of the speed here, and it looks like they've broken apart. we have a bit of a cluster here where the Ferns have broken apart. They aren't able to work together here. I think the 36's damage is also contributing to that on the front end. Might be losing a little bit of the top end speed. The 2.7 is way out front. We are coming to the white flag. If we make it to this white flag, this will be the last white flag of the race. There will be no more yellows if we make it to the start finish line here. Cameron Dance lead us to the last lap. Let's see how this finishes out. We have on the outside the 313. Ben Daughtry is getting pushed really hard by, who is that, Mike? Can you see? Is that the 34 car of A1 Baker? So we got Cam Dance, Ben Daughtry on the inside and the outside. Do we think either of them are going to be in the front by the time we get out of turn 4?
Oh, trouble!
And we got an incident back here. That's not important anymore. They're going to be going back. Let's take us back to the leaders. Get us to the 2.7. We got the 313 up front here with Ben Daughtry. He's getting a huge push from the 34. Now does the 34 stick with him, or does he dive down low? We got the Fern on the bottom left here. The 36 still pushing. He's pushing Cameron Dance, takes him out. Cameron Dance in second. We got the first place of Ben Daughtry is going to take the win today with some help from his teammates. What a wild finish, and that's just how Daytona goes. The 313 makes it.
Post race, Cameron Dance, the 27, black flag, too many incidents. He will fall to the tail end of the lead lap. Heath Mannering, black flag, too many incident points, will fall back to the end of the lead lap. Robert Henry, Wayne Hutchinson was never able to come down to get his Ray Partridge and Ewan Baker. No, he was just caught up in an incident. But man, so we're gonna have to wait.
What a race!
Yeah, we're gonna have to wait for all this to shake out to give us the official standings.
This is going to be a long end to this race here, but it looks like Ben for now is our guy. I see no black flags, a good finish by him, and you know, he had his pals out at the end of the day. After all of this, a golden Fern is won the race.
I told you it was going to be one of those guys.
Hey, you called it here, Mike. All right, let's see. Let's see what happened here towards the end. We have just quite the mess. The 29-35 looks like a little bit of netcode, if I'm seeing that correctly. That may have caused that, the initial contact, and that's just how it is in racing close here at high speeds.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh man, I'm getting corrected on here. Daughtry, not Daughtry. Well, that's on me. I'm sorry, I'm too American for this. But Daughtry, congratulations, Ben. I'm sorry that I ruined the commentary. I hope it's not as bad as Zach Brown was at the end of the McLaren race.
Rob Love, there you is. Oh, nope. So, who else crashed here on the final lap coming to the checkered? I know Mark Newton was involved in that one, so let's go take a look here. No, that's... So let's come back up here, and I know that... And that's
I mean, good work. Good work holding strong up the top three there, but yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for...
I'm seeing Paul might have shuffled to second. So I'm seeing Ben Daughtry, Paul McKenzie, Dan Stevens is our top three right now.
Correct. Correct. Now, I want to hide something real quick.
Absolutely. We have Ben waiting in the interview room. We will scoot on over to there shortly. Is there anything I'm missing here before? Are we good to announce Ben Daughtry as the official winner?
Yeah, so Ben Daughtry definitely the race winner. But my overlays are not going to show the correct drivers, I believe. So let's go ahead. Let me go ahead and just throw up the race results. See what our race results are showing. All right, yeah. So, yep, my results are showing the correct. So let's go ahead and take a look here at our race results. If you want to go ahead and run through those real quick.
Yeah, so we'll go through our top 10 really quick. We got Ben Dotry, Paul McKenzie, Dan Stevens, our pole sitter, still coming out with in the top 3 after all of that. Wayne Taylor in 4th, Brad Wiggins in 5th, coming from P34. Jason Lottridge in P6. P7, we got Hayden Kirk. P8, Dean Mole. P9, Cam James. And P10 from 38th place, we got Matt Town here. So as you can see, you can make it happen from anywhere in the track. Do we want to move to Ben Dotry's post-race interview?
Yeah, let's go ahead and speak with our race winner.
All right, let's move to number 2, the room number 2 here.
Oh, give me 1 second here.
The middle of the race, but excited to have this quick chat with you here as everybody flows and we get this set up for the stream.
Yeah, it was a fairly interesting race. First, 50 laps went pretty straightforward,
Boring.
pretty easy. Pretty boring? No.
Yeah. Nah, we were sitting there watching a straight line of cars.
we literally on our Discord saying, how the hell is the car's to left and he's straight and he's left again. So yeah, I could imagine commentating was pretty miserable. Yeah, I mean,
It was fun.
I was trying to save fuel the whole time. That's the deal.
Yep.
I could kind of get 47 laps if I was taking it easy. So that was the play, and then try and avoid all the chaos. And I didn't have to use my fast repair the whole race, which was pretty handy. And then, yeah, kind of in the right position right at the end to take it home. So that's 2 Daytona wins in a row for me. So pretty happy with that.
Oh yeah, Ben. And is there anyone you like to shout out for helping you? Helping you not only towards the end there. We saw the pushes, from new teammates to get you up there, and then throughout the end. But anybody you want to shout out that stuck with you in the race, whether from your team or outside of the team, that helped put you in position for the win?
Yeah, I've got a few thank yous. So, firstly, we've got Speed Nation and Inspire on our cars, being big sponsors of Kiwi Sim Racing for a few years now, especially Inspire. It's been 20 plus years with them. The KSR team in general, I think it was 12 or 14 of us this race, and it was a really good banter race anyway on our Discord, so I really enjoyed 3 hours into it. Robert Northway, who sorted out the setup, and a special thank you to Dan Stevens, who gave him some special sauce about halfway through the week, which helped him out. Fun race though, really enjoyable race, really enjoyed it. I hope everyone else did as well.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun up here in the booth. And then Dan, if you want to give us, since he kind of did get you from P3, P1 from pole all the way down using that fast repair late, give us kind of your recap of the that last lap of the race there from your point of view.
Mate, I feel like a bloody yo-yo. Yeah, started on pole, didn't expect to finish the race on pole. The pole never wins the race because it's a long race. Dropped way back on that restart. I was in first place once again after getting myself back there. Dropped back to 24th after that incident that we had, and pretty much worked my way back. And luckily, I got a break from that second pack on that last run, and managed to hang on to the back of the front pack, and then just worked my way through it, and pretty much just held on and grit my teeth and held on.
Yeah, if you're able to work your way back on the broadcast, we did catch that where you almost lost the draft, and I made sure to shout out, man, Dan Stevens is trying to find which lane here he can hang on to without losing the draft, because that could be your race.
Yeah, I was. You probably saw it. Like I was the last car on the train. I kept on ducking out and getting. I think it was Matt Chalker. He was a lap car down, but he didn't look like any pace in the car. So I ducked back down behind the last KSR car again, and then I'll duck back up again. So I've got to get past Matt Chalker. So I went 3 wide to get past him. Once I did that, I knew I could find out what my true pace was. So I was ducking in and out. But yeah, every time I went up, it was just like had a brick wall. So ducked back down, and then I just waited for somebody else to 2 or 3 cars to duck up, and then I tried it, and I went from there.
Awesome. And then Paul, I don't want to skip over you here in P2. How are you feeling after that? I know there was a lot of ups and downs for you in this race, trying to sort out where you're going to end up at the end.
Yeah, I think I pretty much did what happened to Dan. I started fairly up the front to start, and then at one point got pushed back to 24th with some incidents and pit stops and stuff, and then just stayed in my lane and fought back. For my first majors, I really enjoyed it. It was I'm quite amazed at where I finished, to tell you the truth.
Hey, welcome to the Majors family for sure. This is my first time in the commentary booth too, so I feel like it was a fun one to do, and you guys put on a pretty good show, right?
Oh, it was great. Look, I have to thank all the boys at KSR. They really help out all of us. Give us some plenty of help and tips, and also thanks to Dan, who, as Ben said, he gave us a bit of help with some setup stuff during the week, and that definitely helped us.
All right. Hey, last question. Feel free to just kind of, open forum here. I'm from the US. I'm over in Michigan here. Grew up a few miles away from Michigan International Speedway out here. Also grew up a big endurance racing fan myself, but at the end of the day, there's something about this plate racing that always draws me to it. Just the pack racing is so unique here. You just don't see this. Some people call it gimmicky. Some people call it the most exciting type of racing in motorsport. What's kind of drawing you all from like New Zealand and Australia and, other areas of the world here to this kind of race today? What made you want to do this?
I think it's just a completely different type of racing that we basically get here, and you just think it's going around and round and round, and it's definitely not. There's a lot of things to consider, and just the team aspect. I think that's what I enjoy about.
Absolutely. And anyone else, feel free to, pipe in on that, Ben or Dan.
I don't like plate racing, so I'm probably not the right person to ask.
I don't like it, and I won.
Yeah, I mean the 87 cars last year, these things are a boxy pile of turd, but that's okay. Watching them in real life is amazing. iRacing's a bit of a shit to do, so NASCAR and draft racing, regardless from this side of the world, has been Shane Van Gisbergen aside, much more accessible since Marcus Ambrose 15 years ago. And it's always
Yeah.
been amazing to watch, regardless of the type of track and the variety and stuff there, and the political stuff in the background and the nuance and the disagreements between the drivers. It's always been really, really fascinating to me. I love it. So I don't like plate racing, but NASCAR in general, I adore.
Absolutely. I'll cut that question there. I think you guys pretty much answered it. And there's one more that I always want to bring up here that we talked about a lot on the commentary. And I know in my Daytona 500 splits here with the iRacing official, my spotter had a lot of work to do with some backdoor dealings up on the spotter stand with the other spotters and teams here working together. Any secrets you all want to give up, towards the end of this race where your spotters were chatting or making any internal deals?
I think the only advice we told anyone was just follow someone and put your foot flat and hope it doesn't go bang. That was it.
Yep.
Absolutely.
The iRacing spotter is very finicky sometimes. It's like it'll give you a call, you're clear, and it's a split seconds decision to move or not, because that gap closes up real quick. So if you get a clear call, you've got to take it either straight away and don't hesitate, or be very, very open on your move that you're coming down, because like I said, the gap closes up very, 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 very quickly. Like you got crew chief and stuff like that, but like even they can have a bit of a delay in them. So it's always good to have a live spotter, like someone who's not driving, which is the best way they can give you calls straight away.
Absolutely. And there's nothing worse than having to think about fuel strategy and pit strategy while you're stuck in a pack of 30, 40 cars.
Yeah.
Go for it, guys. Whoever was up.
I was just saying, yeah, it's right. We're a driver, an engineer, and a spotter.
Exactly. And, when you're driving alone in a weekly race, you probably have to deal with that, but hopefully not here for this one. Well, congrats to y'all. I don't think we, recognize a podium in NASCAR. We only, if you ain't first, you're last. So, Ben, congratulations. Anything else to add from the guys here?
Real quick. Real quick, I want to add, Ben, you only led one lap today. And that was the lap that mattered.
Only one that matters, man. That's the deal.
Sounds like Ben's strategy most of the time.
Yeah, leg at the back.
Awesome.
I do want to thank our race control, particularly Garen. Fair few questions about the race tonight, so I appreciate it. And you boys for the broadcast. It'll be good to go back and have a bit of a watching this tonight, our time. So much appreciated from everyone on the side of the world.
Yeah, we had way too much fun. My voice is going to be shot here. It's almost 4 a.m. and I'm gonna have some 3 hours of sleep before my day starts tomorrow. But it was a lot of fun, guys. Appreciate you putting on a show.
Thank
I
you.
should give a quick shout out to you guys as well and the broadcasting, Garen. It's a tough job doing race control. But a massive shout out to my team. We put some work in this week as well. We did a fair number of laps to get the set going and stuff like that. So big shout out to the MFR boys. Also a shout out to Mad As Designs, Polaris, Aussie Signs and Designs, Virtual Car Art, and yeah, the big one to Middle Finger Racing. Got any lads?
Hell yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys. Unless there's anything to add, I'm gonna call it a night here on my end.
Cheers, buddy.
Good.
Thank you.
Cheers, y'all. Appreciate you guys. Good work today.
Thank you.
Yep. Bye bye. Mike, good work. You cut it yet?
Nope, not yet. But I will go ahead and cut it off here, you ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations once
See
again
you
to
guys.
Ben Daughtry, your race winner. Second place going to Paul McKenzie. Dan Stevens sneaking up to take home that third spot. Just overall, what an incredible race here for the international region. If you guys like what you see, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, and make sure you tune in again. We will be back live right here on Majors Network coming up at noon Eastern. And then again, for noon Eastern will be for the European region. And then at 7 p.m., I will be back for the Americans, for the Americas region. So we got 2 more Daytona 500s to get through. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for tuning in. On behalf of everybody here at Majors, thank you guys so much. And we will see you here, in just about, 9 hours. We'll see you very, very soon.
See y'all.